and that Rampage is going to have like a lot more kind of storyline development. NXT Level Up, I think, is just like people that aren't quite ready for NXT. I think, unless it's going to be, I really don't know. I haven't seen the results of NXT Level Up. I haven't seen quite how they're pitching it. I don't think it's a continuation of, I don't think it's like NXT's second show. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll find out. If you've heard anything about it, drop it in the chat. Let us know. We are starting about 25 minutes earlier because of Rampage being first. So I know this is weird. They've never done this before. It's a one-off, I believe, where Rampage is going to be on before SmackDown. So I believe we've got Rampage first, then we've got SmackDown, then we've got NXT Level Up. So that's why we're doing it this way round, and that's why it's all branded as being AEW, because normally we don't do this till after. But we can watch AEW, we can chat about WWE. I think there'll be a wonderful clash of both sets of fans in the chat, which probably will result in us getting kicked off YouTube. So I'm very much looking forward to that, if nothing else. I hope everyone's had a good day. I can tell you someone that has had a good day. His name is Mark. His name is Mark Calloway. And his name is also The Undertaker. The Undertaker announced for the Hall of Fame, and, much deserved. So that's probably the biggest news that's come through today, is that we know the first person in the Hall of Fame, and it is, as was widely expected, it is The Undertaker, which has obviously got a bit of speculation as to who might be going in with him. I think there will certainly be a class. They haven't said that he's the only one. So I'm expecting a few more names to get announced each week now. There tends to be, is it about 5 or 6 names that get announced? And then on the night of the show, we find out who's gone into the legacy class as well. So I don't know if they'll make it Undertaker themed. I think it'd be cool if they did. Might be a little tricky to do that, because I think a lot of people connected with him are already in. I mean, first of all, you think Paul Bearer, he's in. First of all, you might think Kane, he's in. So, do you know what I mean? Like, you might think of some names, and, a lot of them have already gone in. So, it might be a bit tricky, so we'll see what happens with that. But Undertaker announced for Hall of Fame today. Carl said, NXT Level Up is just matches with people like Draco, who we saw last week, and the Spanish women's team, probably Enofe and Black. Okay. I haven't heard. I never saw. The only thing I saw was that Quinn McKay is the ring announcer for that, and I do like her from Ring of Honor. So I was quite excited about that. So it seems like it's just 205 Live, but just rebranded then. It's kind of like people that are maybe not quite ready for, well, I don't want to say not quite ready for NXT, but people that the spotlight's not really on in NXT. It's kind of the lower card, or maybe some people that they're just trying to break through, which is kind of what 2.0 became, 205 Live, became, was very much that. So, but it looks like just a rebranding, doesn't it then? But we'll have a little look at it. We'll see if it feels any different, what the colour scheme is, see what we can learn. So we will jump over to that after SmackDown. Are there any women's matches on the card? Nothing that's been announced so far tonight. Did you read my email? No, I don't read emails till Tuesday. Harley said, Undertaker inducted Hall of Fame means he isn't the Austin level surprise. Yeah. Well, does it? I mean, I suppose it doesn't. I mean, it's not a surprise, is it? Because they've announced it. But then, I don't know, if a news journalist heard that Undertaker was going into the Hall of Fame, and Undertaker was going to be at WrestleMania because he was going to be in the Hall of Fame, and that's not been announced yet, could you say that was... I mean, I don't think you could call it a surprise, because it's not going to be a surprise, is it? It's Austin level, because he is Austin level. But it's not a surprise, so I suppose not. I don't know. I'm not using too much brain power worrying about that one. My favorite superstar is in the Hall of Fame. Coco Beware. You're a big Coco Beware fan. Burn It Down loves Coco Beware. So that is breaking news. Rob said, I wonder who will be doing the induction for The Undertaker. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I think it should be Vince. A lot of people think it should be Kane, and if it is Kane, that's fine. Like, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But I think it should be Vince. You know, Undertaker did a lot before Kane even arrived. And, you know, obviously had matches after Kane had gone to be a mayor. And, they were together like Brothers of Destruction. They had one of the great feuds in WWE history. And I think a lot of people, when you think Undertaker, would go to Kane. I mean, I wouldn't mind Kane, but I would go Vince. I think we saw, didn't we, that how close they are during that Last Ride documentary. And I think not only are they so close, but like he stood by Vince when he could have gone to WCW. WCW would have absolutely snapped him up. But Vince was able to tie down his big talent. He was able to ensure that like Shawn didn't leave. And he was able to ensure that Undertaker didn't leave. And obviously, unfortunately, he couldn't tie down Bret. He tried to tie down Bret, but he couldn't keep Bret in WWE. But he managed to keep Shawn. He managed to keep Undertaker. And I don't know. I mean, this one feels special, doesn't it? There's only a few people that will ever go into the Hall of Fame that you think are absolute top tier. Like, that could be the best name in the Hall of Fame. Like, you know, maybe you could make an argument for Andre. Maybe you could make an argument for Hogan. Maybe you could make an argument for The Rock. Maybe you could make an argument for Ric Flair. Maybe you could make an argument for Stone Cold. But you can absolutely make an argument for The Undertaker. So I would be tempted to have Vince do it, and because it feels that big. It feels like there's really not too many people that can do it. And one of them is the very, very top man himself. So, Burn It Down says, no, I don't love him. Oh, okay. Do a poll on who should induct The Undertaker. I've literally just told you who it should be. I mean, what do you want me to do? I've just told you. I've literally just given you the answer. Days, Cody was spotted at a European airport. Oh, and apparently might be going to Saudi. Because wrestlers normally go through Europe to get to Saudi. So it looks like he might possibly be at Saudi. Adrian said, I want Shawn to induct him. Alex said, not Oldberg. Tim said, UFC tomorrow. Card sucks, but I'm excited. It's not the best looking card, is it? To be honest. From gold to paper, plastic, computer, Bitcoin, now government full control of your account. Says Mark B. Weed Extreme. Mark, I don't know what you're referring to or even how it ties into wrestling. But I love the fact that we're talking from gold to... I feel like it's a poem. From gold to paper, plastic to Bitcoin, now government, full control of your account. Beautiful. I might have that read at my funeral. Hazard Talks Footy said, Days, when do you think we could see Cody Rhodes in WWE? For me, I would just have him on Raw straight away as a sort of FU to WWE and be like, we've got one of AEW's founding members tonight. I would have him on Raw straight away. When do you think? Yeah, you could see him straight away. I mean, to be honest, there's not really much need to wait. The world knows that it's happened, and WrestleMania is coming up, and rumors were that they are definitely having him at WrestleMania. As Harley's just said there's talk he might be at an airport making his way to Saudi Arabia, so we might be seeing a Cody Rhodes tomorrow at Elimination Chamber make some sort of an appearance. So But to be honest, I wouldn't be doing it with any AEW in mind. Like, the FU is, or Cody's already done the FU to Tony by not re-signing and walking away. So, really, whatever WWE do now is needs to be in their best interest. Needs to be, like, what's going to work for them. So, it's going to be very interesting to see, not when they use him so much, but who is he going to feud with? Who is he going to go against? What is the story they're going to tell? How are they going to present him? Is he going to come in as... I mean, how are the WWE fans going to react to him? Because to be honest, I'm excited that he's going to WWE because it's unexpected. It just completely has turned the wrestling world on its head. He is someone that I really enjoyed booing in AEW. And I'll probably really enjoy booing in WWE. So, but I am excited about it as well. It's really weird. It's conflicting. So I'm excited to see him come back because there's lots of matches he can have. I'm excited that obviously there's a whole sub story of he started AEW. So there's this whole kind of sub story about, well, he's walked away from the show that he created, and now he's going back to Vince, and he's going back to a company that he has used promo time ripping into. He has used interview time ripping into. He did, hold a golden shovel, and he did, break a throne in reference to, Triple H. So, I don't know, there's all this kind of subcontext and everything that's really exciting. I want to know how the wrestlers are going to react to him. I want to know how Vince is going to react to him. I want to know how the fans are going to react to him. And that's very exciting. It's very exciting. So, I don't know. I mean, I keep thinking if I was there in person and Cody walked out, how would I react? I think if it was Cody, I'd be so shocked that I would cheer. But then I would probably have to wait and see how other fans reacted. Because this is a guy that left WWE and then set up its biggest rival. That's a pretty heelish thing to do. If you're a WWE fan and you enjoy WWE, didn't this guy go and try to set up a company that was going to shut it down? So why would you cheer him? At what point how is he a returning hero? He isn't. So I'm really intrigued to see how he's going to get viewed, basically. So. Did you see the Declan Rice interview about top Premier League midfielders? He said Pogba is in his top 3. He's played against finally someone that respects him. I haven't seen that. Was that in the Gary Neville overlap thing? Because to be honest, I watched probably the first 20 minutes of that. I think it's about an hour long, 45 minutes. And they were just talking about him growing up, which was cool. But then I wanted to skip to his future and stuff like this, and England, and so I skipped to those, so I might have just skipped past that if it was in that bit. More specifically, wrestlers normally go through London. Yeah, winning. Not today, they're probably not with the worst storm we've had in 30 years. Have you seen the roof of the O2 in London? Which is very interesting thinking about it. I mean, it shouldn't take too long to repair, but the O2 in London, that big dome that's got the things, WWE tend to go there. The roof has been ripped off it today because of we've had the worst storm in what they're saying is 30 years. O2 arena damage. I'll see if I can find a picture of it. It is the top story over here in the UK right now. This right now. This is what the O2 arena looks like. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's looked better. It's not looking brilliant at the moment, but it gives you an idea of just how strong the winds have been here today. They were so strong, I couldn't get to sleep. Seriously, I was lying in bed and it was just like, when you think a tree's going to come down in a second. There's going to be a tree coming through my roof. Look at that. It's absolutely ripped massive sections of the O2 arena just completely off. And you can see all the inside and everything. I can't quite tell. I think the arena must be I think the arena is right in the heart. So I think that kind of circle that's close to the center, I think that must be like the arena. This bit around the edge is there's like all the way around the edge. There's shops. This might be the shopping part actually. These could be the shops that you go through. So yeah, it could be the shops. If I was to guess, I would say that was the shopping area. All around so the arena is actually in the center. All around the edge. You've got loads of stuff. There's a cinema. There's a second venue. There's a shopping district where there's like loads of shops. I think it's about, I don't know, 50 shops, something like that. There's restaurants. There's exhibition spaces. They've had like Tutankhamun exhibition spaces and everything. So like there's loads inside this dome. It's looking a bit dirty, isn't it? They could probably do a change in this fabric anyway. So, do you know what I mean? The only problem they've got is if they get nice new fabric here, it's going to look a different colour to the rest of it. So, no, I don't think anyone thought about how they were going to clean this thing when they actually built it. But, yeah, these aren't like panels. This is like stretched fabric. And the fabric's gone bye-bye. So... UFC are there in about a month. But not only that, it's one of the busiest venues in the world. So I don't know if they've had to cancel tonight's shows or what's going on, to be honest. But carnage in London. Carnage at the O2. Patrick said it's been the same here in Ireland. We've had a lot of snow. Oh, I managed to avoid snow. Wind has been about 70 to 80. I must admit, last night I looked at the Winter Olympics and there wasn't really anything massive. There was a couple of things we could have done. There was like women's half pipe, that was at 2. And then the next thing wasn't really till 6 because at 4 it was just ice hockey. And the ice hockey was Russia versus Norway. And I was like, I'm bothered by that. So it would have meant we had to go from like 2 to like 6 in the morning. And then at 6, it's just like that speed skating stuff that we've been watching. There was nothing like to really get excited and get your teeth into. The good stuff, like for me, was like later, and we couldn't do that anyway. So I was kind of like, that's probably not worth doing. It's probably not worth doing it. And then also on top of that, we also had like this storm warning. So I'll admit I was making graphics, setting up streams, all this kind of stuff. And there was a storm warning, and I was waiting for this storm, and it never came. Like, all last night, I was like, where's this storm? I thought this storm was meant to be coming. And then today, it hit. I mean, it hit today. And, sadly, people have lost their lives and everything. I think it's been 3 people that have lost their lives. Trees that have been brought down. The O2 Arena that's been ripped apart like that. So, yeah, pretty bad storm. So, the whole reason I'm saying this is because if there has been planes coming into the UK today... I could not think of a worse day to try and land a plane in the UK today. I don't know what the turbulence would have been like. I don't even know if there was like planes getting diverted or what was happening. They measured wind speeds of 120 miles an hour in the Isle of Wight, and that apparently is a new record. And they said it's like the worst storm in 30 years. So. If there are wrestlers that have been landing and whatnot, then, like Cody, then I wish him well. Aaron, shout out to you, buddy. Hope you are well. Aaron Hamrahan, who we see quite a bit of on the Wrestling Escape pod, asking some really good questions and renaming the Elimination Chamber to the Wrestling Escape pod. So, Aaron, shout out to you, buddy. Boomers says Rock C has signed with WWE. This is not yet confirmed by the company. Cody's in Portland, not London. What wrestlers normally go through? Oh my God, these are long comments, guys. If we're gonna have long comments, I'm gonna be struggling to read because they're straight off the screen. I will go back to Harley's though, because he gets upset if I don't read them. Let me have a look. Here we go. Cody's in a Poland airport, not a London one. Okay. Which wrestlers normally go through, but like you said, there's terrible weather that has cancelled flights, and maybe that's why he went to Poland. Maybe. maybe. Although, I've got to tell you, Poland is lovely. So, if he does get a chance to have a little look around, I would strongly recommend it because it is a lovely place. I don't know if he went to Gdansk. He's probably gone to Warsaw, which I believe is the capital. But, you've got Krakow, you've got Wrocław. There's some wonderful places to go in Poland. So, hopefully he had a chance to have a look around, but I doubt it. Edward says, rumors are it'll be title versus title and at Mania, and Roman wins, and then The Rock's music hits. He comes down, cuts a promo, says to Roman that he will see him at Mania next year. Ryan said, what's up, Days? Do you think Cody will be at Elimination Chamber? Well, I have to lean more towards yes, if the rumors are he's been... I mean, look, Harley, Look, we all hate Harley. That's a fact, yeah? That's a fact. No one likes Harley. I don't think Harley is really welcome in any community, and certainly not this one. But he does bring some very, very interesting, insightful news. And if Harley is saying that Cody Rhodes has been spotted in Poland, I have to lean towards that being true. So if he's in Poland on his way to Saudi Arabia, then I'm going to be leaning. I'll go 60-40, yes. 60-40, yes. It's a long way to take him just to have a conversation with Vince, isn't it? It's a long way for him to go to just say hello to a locker room. So got to think he's going. If he is going, if the rumor is true, then he's got to be going to make his presence felt. So James said that Isla White had record-breaking winds today of 122 miles per hour. Do you think any football matches will be cancelled? I don't know how long it's lasting for, to be honest. I mean, it might have passed. I don't know if there's meant to be... I don't know how long it's around. I mean, what I can tell you is that I've lowered the quality of the stream. You might notice that it's not quite as sharp. Hopefully you can still read the chat. Hopefully that's still working okay. Should be at about 720p rather than the usual 20k that we stream in. But I've done that because I'm using the house broadband, which is all kind of underground, proper broadband, not what I normally use, which is 4G, because 4G's been a little bit, as you can imagine. So if we have to use this tomorrow to stream, then we'll go this way again tomorrow. So either way, we should be fine for tomorrow. Not got any concerns. But that might be the worst of it now. It might be pretty much done now, to be honest. But either way, we shouldn't be affected. James said tonight's Bournemouth game was postponed. On BBC Weather, it says the winds might last till Sunday. High winds, Orcs. I haven't heard of any games postponed at the moment. I'm not expecting any to be postponed, but we'll have to wait and see, won't we? We'll have to see how the winds are tomorrow. But right now, I'm just on SofaScore. There's a lot of games tomorrow, and we're looking good for all of them. We've got how many games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games tomorrow. Jeez! 8 games. 8 games tomorrow. It's the follow-up to 8 Days a Week by the Beatles. Here comes Adam Cole, baby. So, Adam Cole making his way down. I don't know what we've got on Rampage. I think we might be getting Switchblade Jay White tonight. So, don't worry, though. If you're not an AEW fan, we can still talk whatever you want to talk about. If you want to talk about Adam Cole, baby, then we can talk about what's happening right now. If you want to talk about WWE and about Elimination Chamber tomorrow, we can do that. We can go wherever you want to go. Don't you worry. All those poor wrestlers had to go through London whilst Cody gets to go through Poland. What if he just travelled to Poland for a holiday and we've got it all wrong? Listen, I'm telling you, it's a nice place. It's a nice place. You think of it as being quite grey and industrial, and certainly large parts of it are that. Large parts of it are very Soviet Union, but it's got some beautiful places as well. So it's not the worst place to go on for a holiday. Brad said it's Jay White versus Trent. Miss Clown 1 said, can we talk about gobstoppers? Yeah, I've never liked them. I've bought a couple before, and I mean, I've done the thing that I'm sure we've all done, where you put the whole thing in your mouth, and then you're like, you can't like, and you're trying to like eat, trying to eat it, and you can't. So then what you end up doing, or what I end up doing, is just like a cat, just like licking away at this thing that's going to take forever to get through. Like, I feel like it's something that you have as a kid once and then never have again. I don't know anyone that like, oh, do you know what I love gobstoppers. Oh, do those people exist? I have never ever met anyone that's had a gobstopper, say, more than twice. I'm not talking about little ones. I'm not talking about like, I'm just seeing there's some sweets here that are called gobstoppers. I'm talking about, you know, the Mac Daddies. I'm talking about the Bad Boys. I'm talking about that there's a plate here that's got some on. I think so. Someone might be making everlasting gobstoppers, you know. Them. Look at them. That's like a little side plate, I think. It's not like a dinner plate. It's a little side plate. The kind of thing you'd put a bit of bread on. But you can get, like, you know, the people have those tiny ones or the next ones. I'm talking about, like, you know, that red one or the one that's the same size, or even the Mac Daddy. And why does it always look, right, I mean, again, I've never wondered this, but why does it always look like Picasso has had a go on it first? I don't understand. Like, what's all the splodges of paint? Where do they keep them when they're making them? Like someone doing, like, watercolors or something. I've never thought about that before until, like, just looking at it now. But, like, what? Honestly, you could flatten out a gobstopper, put it on the wall, and you've got art. So, Bobby said, I like gobstoppers. You like one gobstopper. That's what you like. You don't like more than one. Don't come in here with your lies. Right, we are underway with Adam Cole versus 10. And we are up and running with AEW Rampage. Be interesting to see the ratings. Ratings have got to be better. Got to be better having this hour than that later hour. Shaquem wants to throw up with that. Wants to throw up. Lewis said, do you think WWE 2K22? Well, I am now you've mentioned it. I am thinking about it now, yes. But normally I don't think about it. Wait till SmackDown is still on at 7. SmackDown's on at usual time, yeah. It's just they've switched AEW around and it's causing mass confusion for people. But we do have 10 against Adam Cole. Wasn't it 10 that kind of came down and lost his mind on Dynamite beating up security? Adam Cole's just standing up for the security. That's what's... Adam Cole is actually the leader of the security. Take this, 10. What time is SmackDown? SmackDown is on in 55 minutes. In fact, I've even written there, look at the bottom. SmackDown starts straight after AEW Rampage. I knew I'd be asked this question, and I've even got this here to help people. Look, I'm trying. I've tried everything to get my message across here. Do you like Sheamus? He's hard-hitting. Serves a purpose. Just don't really find him to be in many engaging storylines. That's the problem. If he was, like, doing something interesting, then I'd like him. But right now, he's been bundled with Ridge Holland. And that sucks, because I'm not a Ridge Holland fan. Can you talk for an hour after SmackDown now instead of an hour before, says Airflow Games. What, you want to talk about what might be happening at SmackDown after SmackDown has finished? We can do that. Wrestling Rise said, I've tweeted you. Can you have a look? Does go against my rule, to be honest, of trying to avoid being on Twitter when we're live. But I will break that rule for you. There we go. That's what Wrestling Rise is pondering. Could the WrestleMania sign just be a clue all along? Has that sign all along been an Easter egg that we were always going to be getting Stardust coming back? And look at that. 45 seconds ago. Not even a minute ago. And I was there. What else have we got? Wrestle Talk. Is Cody en route to Saudi? Harley. Take it with a pinch of... Of course it's Harley. Harley's everywhere. I can't avoid Harley. Why is Harley... How is Harley... There must be like 20 Harleys. One in our chat. One on Twitter. Take it with a pinch of salt. But it has hit Twitter, and the picture is right there in the article, and apparently it's new, and it looks apparently like he's in a Polish shirt. You've said all this. You've said it. We've read it. Calm down, Harley. Yeah, that was my he earned it joke, which went very well, so. Days, also, there are rumors that the Ronda-Naomi tag match stipulation will get changed. And Ronda will have to fight with one hand tied behind her back. Thoughts? That's what I think. Hasn't she done that before? I mean, look, there's not rumors because people were at the show. Like, this is a taped show. So, they're not going to be rumors. That could potentially be spoiler. If it is, unless if it's on the show tonight because they do the contract signing tonight, so I would stay away from that whole conversation. Primo said, "Days, my goodness, the Dynamite ratings collapsed last week 1.1, this week 869, close to 300,000 opted not to watch." To be honest, there wasn't a tease of a surprise though, was there? So that 1.1 was inflated because that 1.1 was big surprise. You know, someone's going to walk through the forbidden door and all of that. So the little problem that it's not a massive problem, but it is a little problem. The little problem that AEW has got is that they seem to keep having to rely on surprises. So they did a big surprise. There's going to be Forbidden Door. There's going to be a big surprise. That brought in Keith Lee and Switchblade. They got 1.1 million for that. Then this week on Dynamite, there was no surprises. That went back to where it should be, basically, 800 and some odd thousand. Like 900,000, 800 and some odd thousand. That is where Dynamite is. Now, I mean, it started well on TBS, doing over 1 million. It had a good little, bump. That has now settled down, and it's settled down to what its normal audience, normal crowd is, which is 850, 900, maybe 950. That is naturally where Dynamite sits. So, no surprise this week, and they get, 869, you said? Unsurprisingly, Tony Khan has come out now and said next week on Wednesday, is it in the next couple of weeks? He's working on a surprise, a big surprise that we all would know about, but he's getting it done basically. So, he's trying to get another surprise lined up. Don't know if he means Jeff. Don't know if he means Wyndham. It feels like it's one of those to me. A big surprise that we all know about. The two would be Jeff and Wyndham. He's working on that at the moment. So, I mean, it's dropped, but I think it's only dropped because the week before they hyped it up. I don't think 1.1 is where they normally sit, so. Don't know, it depends how you take that. Is that good news? Is that bad news? Don't know. I don't know how you take it. They always seem to be around that number. Whatever they've done, whatever they try, they seem to be around that number. Do you think Sasha will be in the Ronda match at WrestleMania? Right now, I do. Yes, right now I do, because she got mentioned, and I don't know if she's gonna say. I don't think she'll say something tonight because the focus needs to be on Elimination Chamber. And I've not seen any spoilers for tonight's show, so I genuinely don't know what's going to happen. The only thing I saw was Ronda trying to smash Charlotte's head off a table, and it not going very well. And that was reported in papers over here, The Sun, and everyone was talking about that. And they're saying that it'll get edited out. So I don't know what it'll look like. But, yeah, that was a big topic of conversation. Can I just say, Adam Cole should not be struggling this much against 10. I don't know what's happening. 10 had Adam Cole in a full Nelson. And Aubrey couldn't see. And now he's about to finish him off. But 1, 2, 3. I don't get why Adam Cole struggled to beat 10 and we're meant to believe he's going to beat Hangman and he has to, like, cheat to do it and... Don't know. Adam Cole wins. Days, do you think we will see Cody at the Chamber? Yes. I'm leaning towards yes. I'm told by Harley... Literally everywhere I turn. If I'm on the stream, I'm being told by Harley. If I turn to Twitter, I'm being told by Harley. If I go to bed and, like, get into bed and cuddle up on a duvet and open my eyes, Harley is there telling me, going, did you hear that Cody's on his way to Saudi Arabia? I can't escape it, so I have to believe there's some truth in it. So yeah, I think he will. This is the same crowd as Dynamite, same clothes. Yeah, they tend to tape it straight after. Or before. Before or after, I'm not sure. Hello, friends. Hope you are well. Looking forward to the chat tonight, says Master Chief. Master Chief, shout out to you. 10 been eating food sexily before the match again. I don't know. Why was he... Does he eat food sexily? Does he? 10. I can't say I've noticed. Did they mention Cody tonight? What, on... Rampage? It's only been going 14 minutes. I have to have the sound down, so I can't say, but I doubt they have. They didn't really mention him. I mean, he had a couple of mentions on Dynamite, but it wasn't any, like, goodbyes or thank yous or anything, was it? So, Days, do you think Cody might somehow get a place in the Chamber? Well, there's nothing stopping someone getting attacked backstage. Is there? We need a replacement. Someone's been attacked backstage. We need a replacement. Cody's music hits. Cody comes out. The only problem you've got is, are people going to chant AE-dub? That if I was Vince, I'd be thinking, like, if I bring Cody out there, a lot of people that just aren't in the news. Right, there are people in this world that watch wrestling and don't go on the internet looking for stuff about it. There are people in this world that have the ability to not go down that kind of rabbit hole and get sucked into the internet wrestling community. There are people in this world that might not know. And if he comes walking out as a replacement, are you going to prompt then AEW chants at Elimination Chamber? Like, that cannot be something that Vince would want. Vince would not want to encourage that. But I don't know how you're going to stop that, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, look, he's there. Is he there to start a fight with someone? Or is he there to get into, or is he there to replace someone? Is he there to get into the Chamber? It's a good question. I don't know what I would do. I mean, you really could make him the star of Raw, the big name on Raw, and then you've got Brock and Roman over on SmackDown. You see, we've been saying this. I wouldn't unify the belts. If you put both of the belts onto Roman and you just have the one champion, you're really, like, limiting your options then. Like, Cody would have to beat Roman. He would have to be the one to beat Roman. And then Cody has all the belts. In WWE, he's got, like, the Universal and the WWE. Whereas, at least if there's two, then, you know, Cody can have the WWE one and Brock and Roman can fight over the Universal. And then you could have Cody and Seth, Cody and whatever. So, I don't know what they're going to do. It's hard to know because I seriously don't think Vince knew. As of, say, the weekend just gone, I don't know if Vince even quite knew what his plans were going to be. I mean, at the start of the year, it was reported that the champion at WrestleMania was going to be Seth, and he was going to be defending against either Bobby, Kevin, or potentially Big E. And now look where we are now. I mean, it's crazy how things evolve and change. I think I would have Cody go after the title further down the road. I don't think I'd bring him in and go have him straight after the belt, because you haven't really got anywhere to go after that. So I would bring him in and just give him a feud. That's why I like maybe him and an authority figure, because then he can feud with them for a while and then turn his attention to going after the belt, and that gives you an easy story to tell straight after. I mean, that potentially books the next 12 months for him. Battling against some sort of authority and then going after the belt books the next 12 months for Cody Rhodes. And maybe Cody wins the belt at next year's WrestleMania. Rather than just bringing him in, have him win a chamber, have him win the belt. It's all very quick. And it doesn't need to be. Right, we were at commercial break now. We've got Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs making his way down. Hobnob. Making its way down to the ring. Brandy's not coming there. Apparently Brandy's not coming there. In my opinion, AEW have missed a massive trick with the Dark Order. What do you think? Yeah, I would agree. I think they've had to reposition them a few times. I mean, at first it was like Join Us, wasn't it? And they were quite a dark group. And then, like, they just weren't getting over. So they put, like, Brody with them. And then they started to do, like, comedy. I think it was on Being the Elite. And that was really getting over. Like, you had Brody being the serious leader. And then you had, like, John Silver and everyone messing around. And Brody would beat them with the papers. And that was really, really getting over. So they repositioned them then as like a comedy group, which I think was a good move. But since like Brody passed, they've been a little bit directionless. Like they did the Hangman thing, which I suppose was good, but that's played out now. So it's they kind of need a purpose, don't they? They need a direction. They need something to set their target, their sights on. They need a leader, I think. They need a bit of a leader, and they need, like, some regular comedy. I find them to be, like, genuinely funny. I think John Silver is genuinely funny. So I think it would be good if they were to get, like, a little regular segment somehow. Even if it's just a backstage thing. And, like, we see them going through whatever they're going through, you know. Be it their frustrations, be it their... I don't know, whatever. Like, plans to take over the tag division, plans to find a new leader. Like, you know, whatever story you want to tell with them, I think it'd be good if there was, like, a weekly segment for the Dark Order. I genuinely find them funny. I think John Silver is one of the best things I enjoy about Dynamite. When he's given, like, time to talk or time to be on camera and he's showing off the guns and whatever. He's funny. He's good. And he's a good wrestler as well, so always helps. Mitchell, shout out to you, buddy, says, I'd love to see Edge knock out AJ, trying to take AJ's spot, setting up their Mania match. Cody can then take out Edge and take the chamber spot. I would love to see Edge try to knock out AJ, try to take AJ's spot, setting up their Mania match, and then Cody takes out Edge and takes the chamber spot. I think Edge as a face wouldn't do that. I think it would need AJ to do some at first. So AJ would have to... it'd be hard to book, to be honest. Because, like, if Edge did it, that's a heel thing to do. You are attacking AJ just to get his spot, and that's a heel thing to do. So AJ would have to do some at first in order for Edge to get revenge. And then he gets revenge. And then, like, you would need, like, say, an official to say, right, you two, there's clearly a problem here, and we're going to deal with that separate. Right now, neither one of you is going to be in the chamber. And then, like, we'll have to find a replacement, and then the replacement turns out to be Cody. That you could book it that way, but I think that there's maybe a few too many steps to go through in order to tell that story. So, I don't know. I think it might be better if the Edge AJ story maybe isn't involved in it, and then we find a different person to take out. I don't know who that would be, though. Seth? How about Seth is taken out of it because Kevin Owens is so frustrated that Seth didn't help him qualify? Like, a mystery person has attacked Seth, and we don't know who it is. And now we need a new person to go in, and Kevin Owens is like, that is such bad news about Seth. That is such bad news. Like, if you need me to take his place, I'm here. And they're like, no, it can't be you because you lost the qualifying match. And he's like, yeah, but then I did beat Austin Theory the next week. And they're like, yeah, but it wasn't a qualifying match. He's like, but it doesn't matter. I still beat someone that was in. Like, he's still, like, desperately trying to get in. And in the end, they're like, well, think about it. We get to the actual thing, and then Cody walks out. And then it turns out the next night on Raw or whenever, we find out that it was Kevin Owens that attacked Seth because he wanted his spot. I think that would be cleaner. And it doesn't maybe require as many steps. You can still get Edge and AJ. I mean, that will be... You know, there's rumors of that match. I think they've said they want to face each other. Edge has definitely said he wants to face AJ, so I think you'll get it. I won't worry about it. Richard said, Cody could come out of nowhere, attack Roman at the Chamber. Roman wins by DQ. Then Cody wants a shot, and it's Lesnar versus Cody versus Reigns at Mania for the Universal Championship, and Cody wins. What if Lashley wins the Elimination Chamber? Cody comes out the crowd, gives him the Crossroads, and fights Lashley at Mania and wins. I prefer that to the first one. I wouldn't be putting Cody in with Lesnar and Reigns. Lesnar's a monster. He is huge. Roman is undefeated for I don't know how long. The thought that you can put Cody Rhodes in with those two and Cody legitimately wins the match, I struggle with that, to be honest. The only way I could see it happening is if somehow Brock takes out Roman, and then from behind, Cody hits Crossroads on Brock, and Roman's already down, and he kind of steals it. He steals the win. You could maybe do it that way, but I don't think I would do it that way. I don't think I like the idea of a. Well, I don't like it. I don't like the idea. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of Cody being in that match. I would go much rather that second one where Cody comes out, attacks whoever wins the Elimination Chamber, and then you go that way. But as I said, to be honest, I wouldn't have him anywhere near the title. I don't think he needs to be near the title. Like for me, the title story is when you don't really have any other stories to tell. So if you've got a superstar that, is over and you've done some stuff with and they're on the verge and ready for a title shot, then you do the title story. But with Cody, I kind of feel like if you put him into the title picture, are we not just ignoring the fact that he went to AEW, set up left because he was frustrated as Stardust, went to New Japan, went to set up a new company, a rival, set up AEW, and has created all this buzz for the past 2 years and whatever. And again, don't forget, Cody played a massive, massive part in that. I just don't know, why would you ignore that? It's hard because you don't want to give that company hype and you don't want to build them up, so you don't need to name them. But you can certainly reference them as, Cody saying, I tried to take you down by setting up a company and taking you on. And I quickly learned that wasn't going to work. So now I'm here in WWE. to take you down, Vince, to bring your reign of terror to an end, or whatever it might be. I kind of feel like that isn't that's bigger. That story to me is bigger than him being champion. Him being champion's fine. You can always go there, but why ignore like what has been going on? It's a fine line, and it's a hard story to tell because you don't want to give it promotion. You don't want to promote AEW if you're WWE, so you can't be naming it. You can't be shouting about AEW, but you can certainly talk about, like, you can talk in riddle. Like, you know, you can have Cody saying, I tried to take you down from the outside, but now I'm going to do it from the inside. Like, something like that. If someone doesn't know about AEW, you haven't mentioned them, you haven't said that it's a rival wrestling company, like, it tells the people in the know, you know, but it doesn't tell those that aren't. So that kind of thing is what I would be playing with. I really would, rather than have him go after a belt, because the belt will always be there, and the opportunity to go after a belt will always be there. But, you know, him coming in now, this opportunity of him coming in, really, I mean, you could present it that he's still part of that other company. You could present it that he's not a WWE superstar like Michael Cole going, what is he doing here? What is he doing here? Like I'd explore that. Without sitting down with Vince, you'd never know if that's what Vince wants to do. And you'd never know what kind of stories Vince wants to tell. But, you know, the title one I just think is a bit lazy. Like, that is just, it's always there. Having him go after a belt is always going to be an option. But it's always an option. You could do it in SummerSlam. You could do it next year's WrestleMania. You could do it at a B show. You could do it anytime you want to do it. Have Cody go after a belt. Go after that main title. But this story, it's got to be, it feels a bit like now or never. You're not going to go back to it in a few years' time, are you? In 2 years' time, you're not going to tell the story of how he tried to set up a company and has now come in and he's trying to take WWE down from the inside. Like, you have to tell this story now or you're never telling it. So you have to choose. Powerhouse Hobbs has got the dub. Both GB's curling teams are in the Olympic final. The men's is on at 6:50 and the women's is on at 1:05. James, shout out to you. I did see this. I saw the men manage to get past the USA. If you are in the USA, thank you, because that guaranteed GB its first medal. And then the women, Thug Dods, the women went and beat Sweden, which I don't know if we were fancied to do that, to be honest. But we went and beat Sweden. And now that means that we are into that final as well. So, yeah, curling has delivered for Great Britain at these Winter Olympics. Jade Cargill is backstage in a little catsuit that makes her look like the Riddler or like a kinky $1 million woman. She's got like a grey catsuit on and it's got like dollar signs all over it. Matt Hardy is here and he wants to get the bunny a shot at the TBS title. Beat up the rabbit lady. The rabbit lady. That should be a new name. Not the bunny, the rabbit lady. Hope you're doing well. I never got to hear your thoughts on the 2016 Royal Rumble. In my opinion, it's one of my favourites. It had a very good Roman and authority story behind it. 2016 Rumble was good. 2016 Rumble was winner of the Rumble won the title. And I believe the surprise entrant at the end was little bit predictable. Not too bad. But a little bit predictable. I must admit, I didn't predict it. In fact, my first video is me naming the people I think are going to win, and I didn't call Triple H winning it. I remember saying I just hope Triple H is not going to be in it, because it was a little bit predictable. There was people like Kevin Owens that was red hot at the time, And there was people that, like, Dolph Ziggler was red hot as well. He was still, you got to remember, at the end of 2014, that's when Dolph Ziggler does his, one-man show of keeping Team Cena in the match, and then Sting arrives. So that was Survivor Series 2014. By the time we're at Royal Rumble 2016, a lot of his momentum has died, but I was really still willing for them to pull the trigger on Dolph. And obviously, as the years go by, it gets less and less and less. And, I'd say as every year has gone by, he's been more and more, like, badly used. But ironically, so far this year, he's been used all right because we've seen him at least on NXT doing something interesting there. Getting into a little feud with Tommaso Ciampa. But anyway, that's by the side. That's by the by. There were some people that were, like, red hot. I remember Kevin Owens was someone I really wanted. I remember Dolph was someone that I wanted. I think maybe even Daniel Bryan might have been a name that I was hoping. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's ironically the first video on the channel. But I do remember thinking, I don't mind. I might even have said it. I don't mind who wins it as long as it's not Triple H. Because Triple H was just a little bit obvious that it might go that way. And then he wins it. And so I think my second video is me holding up a Triple H figure and then crying because it did go that way. But I don't mind it. I don't mind it looking back. It was, maybe the thing we needed. I don't know. It's hard. It's difficult because, like, they were still trying to get Roman over as a face. And they were just trying to get Roman, accepted by the fans. And he wasn't the one that we wanted. I didn't want Roman. And basically that Rumble is them trying to get Roman over. Whereas I wanted Owens, I wanted Dolph, I wanted someone else, But they were still trying. They didn't learn from the 2015 Royal Rumble, and they were still trying. Only this time, they didn't have Roman win it. They had Triple H win it, and he left with the belt. So, it was all right. The main thing I remember 2016 for is the arrival of AJ Styles, which I think could have been presented a little bit better because just the camera shots are a little bit off. If you look at it, the camera's on, like, Roman's face, and he just looks a bit confused. Then you hear a roar, because the crowd see the word phenomenal before we do. So when we go back to have a look and see, well, who is it? You actually see AJ walking out. Like, it's not that AJ is already in position. He's actually on his way walking out, like, with his head down. And then he stands there and throws the, it's just a little off. I don't know why they focus on Roman's face. Like, that should have been on the Titantron. Because the music was playing. No one knew whose music it was. Hadn't heard that before. Music's playing. You're looking. And it's when the word phenomenal comes up that the crowd are like, oh. Because there'd been rumors of AJ coming in. And he's obviously, connected with that word. So, yeah. I mean, the Rumble itself, if you want my thoughts, I think there are videos on it, to be honest. Videos that will probably be a bit better than me having to remember it now, because ironically, Royal Rumble 2016 is literally the first thing we cover on this channel. The Royal Rumble 2016 predictions is my first ever video, and then, as I said, me holding up that Triple H figure might be my second video. And I can't remember if I did a review of it. I can't remember. I'd be surprised if I didn't. I don't get why you've got high hopes for Cody. He was a mid-carder in WWE and AEW. Well, I think it's because he's a decent promo. He's a decent wrestler. He was given a lot of TV time in AEW, and I think the only reason that he gets called a mid-carder in AEW is because he lost that match and didn't allow himself, really, the opportunity to go after the AEW championship. Like, he could have held that championship, no problem. But he felt it was in maybe the best decision. It was in the best interest for him as an executive vice president to not be the person that holds the belt. Because that would be seen maybe as him holding talent down, and that is true. But Kenny was able to do it. And I think if Cody had stuck around long enough, at some point he would have held it. But he tried to, be around that TNT title, have some feuds, go up against some of the up-and-coming talent and kind of approach things from a different perspective. So I don't know that it's fair to call Cody a mid-carder in AEW just because he didn't hold the TNT. No, not the TNT. The AEW championship, because that is a belt that he kind of prevented himself from winning, which, I got respect for that. I never had a problem with him doing that. I think I could see why he did it. But, the fans still turned on him anyway. The fans turned on him because the way that he was being booked against some of that up-and-coming talent, and the fact that he was maybe not around as much, he was doing like a bit of Hollywood stuff, kind of meant that they felt that he was just using... I heard a lot of people saying that he was using AEW as just like a stepping stone. The one that bothered me was his win over a Go-Go. His win over a Go-Go was Anthony Ogogo. That bothered me because I felt like Anthony Ogogo had some momentum, and he was an Olympian, and he was a boxer, and it felt like they could have got him over as a real threat. One punch, boom, down you go. He's a problem. He's an Olympic boxer, Anthony Ogogo. And it felt like there was an opportunity to really push him. But instead of doing that, he loses to Cody. And then that promo, man. That promo is one of the worst things Cody did, in my opinion. The promo where he's talking about America and how Ogogo is from the UK, and he comes over thinking that he owns the place, and really trying to start this American UK war, this rivalry that just does not exist. To my knowledge, I mean, I cannot remember. I mean, maybe Regal doing a little bit of something, but I can't remember there being any problems between the UK and the US in wrestling. I mean, I think of Davey Boy. I mean, Davey Boy was great. I mean, he went and joined up with the Hart Foundation, of course, and maybe there was a little summit there, but it's, oh God, if there is anything, it's really minimal. It's not like US and Russia. Do you know what I mean? That's a rich history. Or the US and Iraq with, Sergeant Slaughter being an Iraqi sympathizer, or the Iron Sheik coming from Iran, or dare I say, Mohammed Hassan and stuff like this. It just didn't make any sense. A lot of people listened to that promo and went, what? And then all of a sudden he started to bring race into it. And he started to try and make this promo this thing. I don't know. It was... for me, that was one of the worst things he did. And then the fans started to, as we said, claim that he was just using AEW as a stepping stone. And then it seemed to spiral, and it got to the point where they were just outright booing him, whatever he did. And he lost the fans. He lost the fans. And I loved it. I loved it. It's one, I'm going to miss it. I'm genuinely going to miss it. Watching him take that belt off, throw it into the crowd, and then the crowd chuck it back. That's one of my favorite ever moments from AEW. I love that. I loved seeing Cody genuinely confused. Cody wow, they really hate me. And it's yeah, they do. They do. Because you've lost that connection with them, and you've gone Hollywood, and you didn't put over certain talent, and your promos were weird. And so seeing him desperately trying to stay face when he was clearly heel, and he was saying he was never going to turn heel, and the crowd wanted him to be heel. There became a power struggle. It was so interesting to watch. You had Cody that was trying to stay face. You had the crowd that were desperately trying to turn him heel. And there was this power struggle, and I'm sure the crowd would have won in the end. If they'd have stuck by their guns, I am sure that the crowd would have won in the end. But I'm going to really miss that. Richard said, what if Lashley wins Elimination Chamber? Cody comes out the crowd, gives it... Oh, I read that one. that sent again? Have a look. Richard K, shout out to you. Oh, no, there. I saw an interview with Ken Shamrock the other day. Switchblade, Jay White coming down. We'll watch this. And the person asked him if he would go back to WWE for an in-ring return. He said he would be up for it if they called him. Will it happen? Don't know. Don't know. I mean, Vince is always up for bringing back people if he thinks there's money to be made. But maybe with Gable Steveson, there could be some. Maybe with Gable Steveson, but I wouldn't have them have a match because Kurt didn't look great. Towards the end of his time, he didn't look great. Have you put the quality down? Yeah, took it down to 720. I took it down to 720 because there's been a bad storm here, and I didn't want to run the risk of using 4G because honestly, it could be lagging and all over the place. So just felt like a better idea to jump onto the house broadband, which is obviously all cables underground and everything, and so should be a much more stable connection. We might use this quality tomorrow because the last thing I want for tomorrow is anything really messing up. So we might go with this tomorrow. Depends what the weather's like, to be honest. But it's been a bad storm in the UK. We'll have a look at Switchblade here. He's got 17 minutes to impress us. 17 minutes till we go to SmackDown. Mash Chief said, I think the crowd crossed the line with Brandy was shut the F up chance. You could tell she was not okay with it. Harley said, Days, WWE reportedly made a big offer that Cody can't turn down. Also, is this Revolution ladder match Vince's wet dream? Is this Revolution ladder match Vince's wet dream? I don't know. Who's in it? Who's in it? If it's big, beefy guys, then yes. They might have booked it just for him. Lots of cheers for Switchblades. Switchblade with his hand in the air. I mean, he is genuine top star. They've got in their hands there. Keith Lee, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs. Looking, I don't know that Keith Lee is part of his dream, but Wardlow, maybe Powerhouse Hobbs would definitely be in there, yes. Kicks coming into the midsection by Switchblade. I really like Switchblade's ring gear. You know, you don't have to do anything too outrageous to have something that's, like, eye-catching and personal to you. Like, black tights with the kind of, you know, the chalk markings, the when you're crossing off fives, you do 4 stripes and 1 through for 5. So he's got those on, like, counting his victims kind of a thing. It's good. It would be great, actually, if every time, like, if they were black, completely black, and then every time he beat someone, he added an extra 1. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Imagine, like, he, like, just kept adding, every time he beat someone on TV, just kept adding another 1. I mean, if he had a long career like Randy Orton, it would be a nightmare. But he could certainly do it till he got to, say, 100 or something. My son is digging Switchblade's pants. That's what I want for Keith Lee, is something that you look at and you go, that's cool. That's different. That's, you know, that's personal to that wrestler. I don't get that vibe with Keith Lee's. Keith Lee's feels too indie, too cluttered. SmackDown is on. Yeah, SmackDown's in 14 minutes. Have you heard Big Swole's latest revelation about Tony, that he used to smoke weed with her? Don't know. Does that matter? I think that makes him seem cooler, doesn't it? Doesn't that make him seem a bit cooler? I don't think people are going to be upset that he smoked weed with Big Swole. Is she trying to get him over? What's that? Jeez. If you tell the AEW fan base Tony Khan smokes weed, they'll be like, dude, what a cool guy. If she's thinking that's going to make them go, oh my God, that's appalling. Oh, that's disgusting. Who does he think he is? I can see that. I can see that happening backstage. After like a tough show or something. You know, after he's finished up and the ring's being packed away and whatever. I can see him going out back, having a chat with the wrestlers, and maybe she was smoking and he, like, had some. Or maybe, like, it was like, have you got another or whatever? I don't know. I find that a bit strange. I find that one a bit weird. Like, she really ripped into him on Twitter. And then she's just put him over. James said, no idea. I ain't a druggie. That's what druggies say. Everyone expect me weed with kind bud Tony, says Ponton. They're treating Keith Lee like another guy in the locker room. They don't treat him like a big deal. Tony Khan is the new Wiz Khalifa. Yeah. He's got a rap album coming out, I'm sure. I don't think Seth and Kevin thing would work. Kevin doesn't go to the Saudi shows. That's a good point. Unless they pre-recorded it. Because a backstage at a show is a backstage at a show, isn't it? So, but they probably won't go to those lengths to do that. Primo facts, though. Vince isn't global for nothing. I watched the dude take over the territories. Shane said, druggie is a bit of a stretch. That's what a druggie would say. My 14-year-old son, Jaden, wanted to ask you an opinion. Do you think that Sami Zayn is going to be the new Intercontinental Champion tonight, says Tracy. Jaden, hello. Jaden, I hope you are well. Hope you're excited for WWE Smackdown. And do I think that Sami will be? Do you know what? Such a good question by Jaden. We're going to put it as a poll. Do you... So, how do I word it? Who will leave as IC champion? I mean, I honestly can see an argument for Sami getting it because there's rumours that we're going to be getting Sami against Johnny Knoxville because that's a feud that's been rumbling along and building. So, I could definitely see it going that way. But equally, I mean, that would be a big thing to do tonight. Switch, I mean, like, Nakamura, even though he's not defended that title, has had that title for quite a while. So is he going to lose it now? Is he going to lose it? Could it be that he wins it, but Boogs interferes and they set up a rematch? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be tonight. If I was voting, I think I'd be leaning towards Sami, to be honest, because there's rumors of Sami and Johnny in a match. So I think I'd be leaning towards Sami. But they might not necessarily pull the trigger tonight. And might not necessarily do that match for the IC belt. Johnny and Sami could have a match without the IC title. Johnny might come down and cost Sami. I mean, that would be another way of building up the feud, wouldn't it? Johnny Knoxville could come down, interfere, and actually cost Sami Zayn the IC title. So, leave what? Tonight, at Mania tonight. It's a match tonight. People that have heard spoilers already know the answer. Yeah, I suppose that's true. I didn't think about that. Well, it depends. I don't know how many people have read. I suppose a lot might have. I don't know. I haven't seen them be so widely reported. Normally, I get sent them, but I haven't been sent them. You know. Do you know what? I genuinely don't know. I haven't seen it, so I genuinely don't know. I don't know how many would. We've got Shoulder Up by Trent. I hated Jay disrespected Tanahashi, says Heather. It's not a bad little match, this. Not a bad little match. We've got Trent getting up to his feet. Kick to the midsection. I don't know how days. WWE spoiled one of the matches for tonight. How? Oh, don't answer how. If they've spoiled it, I ain't seen it. Guess what? Not living on Twitter is amazing. I strongly recommend it. I go onto Twitter to just jump into my notifications and just see, like, if there's any bits of news around. But I don't do any digging. I don't do any digging or anything anymore. I used to, like, try and go to certain people like Dave Meltzer, Sean Ross Sapp, all that kind of. I don't bother doing that anymore. I kind of think, like, if I need to know about it, someone will tell me. Or it'll get brought up here. Springboard moonsault. Sam said WWE posted it. I'm so mad. Oh, I have not seen that. Lovely moonsault. Well, I can tell you. Let's end the poll then, if people are going to be now searching it. 79-20 Sammy. I mean, I have heard the rumor that Sammy and Johnny are going to be facing at WrestleMania, and it's believed the IC title is going to be in that conversation. So if I had to pick, I would lean Sammy for that reason, but I don't know if they're going to do it tonight or if they're going to postpone it. I don't know if Johnny's going to come down and cost him the title, and potentially they do the match at WrestleMania but just without the IC. So I don't know. I mean, clearly there's people that know, and if you know, amazing, but I don't. That guy says, I was there, I know everything that happens, it's been pre-recorded. When will SmackDown start in Dubai? I don't know, my friend. I know that SmackDown starts in 6 minutes, but I don't know if you watch it live in Dubai, or maybe you've got like a delay or some kind. Do you think Twitter ruins the excitement of returns? I think Dave Meltzer and Sean Ross Sapp ruin the excitement of returns. It's difficult because there's people out there that want that information and will click on that information. If the internet wrestling community stood up as a whole and said we don't want to know, right, and didn't click on Fightful Select and didn't click on Observer and didn't go to them for that. I mean, I got no problem with Sean Ross Sapp. I don't really have a problem with Dave, but like if you use them for information that wasn't spoilers, wasn't returns, wasn't people that are coming in, if they got used for their opinions of shows and they got used for kind of extra information about why people were released, if they got used for things like that, I think that everyone would win then, wouldn't they? Everyone would win. Because like you'd be getting like information, extra information, but you wouldn't be getting like those big spoilers. But they release the, they've got contacts, they find out the information and it gets spoiled. So I don't think it's, if Twitter didn't exist, then it would just get out on Instagram, or it'd just get out on Facebook, or it'd just get out on YouTube videos. It's leaks, isn't it? The leaks are a problem. Is there a pay-per-view in March? Not yet, no, but there should be. I think there still could be. I find it hard to believe there's no March pay-per-view. I mean, I suppose they are trying to sell out WrestleMania 2 nights in a row, but just having one in March shouldn't really affect your WrestleMania sales. If they didn't spend time ruining wrestling, they wouldn't have shows or followers, says Rob. I just wonder if maybe there could be a way of reporting wellness violations, reporting why people were released, reporting... I'm trying to think what else, like thoughts about shows, show predictions. I feel like there's still a way that they could be around. Like I'm not trying to say get rid of them. Do you know what I mean? I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, like, it would be better for wrestling if returns and new arrivals weren't spoiled. That undoubtedly would be better for wrestling. Because that, in this day and age, and I suppose to a degree it's always been that way, but trying to know who is going to... it's a good little match, this, you know. Knee strike by Trent. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Switchblade. Yeah, not knowing who's going to be coming in, that's a massive part of wrestling now. I mean, already this year we've seen, I don't even know how many surprises. You know, they teased the surprise for the women's chamber. They've teased surprises on Dynamite. Obviously, we had all the surprises with Royal Rumble, and we're only halfway through February, let alone March. There's another kind of massive surprise for WrestleMania, which granted hasn't come from WWE yet, but you know there'll be many, many more surprises set up throughout the year. It's a big part of wrestling now, is the return, the surprise. Looking at the ratings, there's a large chunk of people that only are interested in those moments. They're only interested in those moments where someone comes back or someone arrives for the first time. Actually sitting down and watching the wrestling on a show doesn't seem to grab people's attention quite as much. Trent goes down to his knees. And I don't know how long they've been teasing Veer. 2 minutes to go. What are your thoughts on Owens Stone Cold? I like it. I'm into it. I don't think it's too far away from what was expected. Thought that Stone Cold or Undertaker could attack Kevin Owens at WrestleMania because he was starting to lay into the people of Texas. 1, Blade Runner, and Switchblade wins. Switchblade wins. Good match, that. Good match. I mean, I wonder what Tony will do with Switchblade. I mean, he's not going to be sticking around, is he, for long, but... It's a nice little main event they've got there. AEW started the hour before, and it's weird. It is weird. How many finishers is Trent going to hit? Good Lord. Good Lord. Switchblade's in the ring with Orange Cassidy right now, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh. Acting all intimidated. Orange Cassidy has got his eyes set on Switchblade. Oh, I'm sorry. Right, we're switching. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. So that was Rampage. Right, where am we going here? Maybe in Cody, UK US promo, he thought he travelled back to the 1812, 1770. It's easily done, isn't it? It's easily done. I mean, I can't deny there was some beef then. There was some beef then. But I would like to think that our nations have moved on since that point. So this is SmackDown taped. Obviously, all the superstars are in Saudi Arabia. So this was recorded straight after last week's show. Okay, Adam Pearce is in the ring. So contract signing. Adam Pearce in the ring. Oh my god, what if Cody comes out during this show? What if Cody comes out now? Oh my god. Thunder Rosa Britt Baker for the women's title at Revolution is now official. Do you think Bliss will have her 5 Feet of Fury gimmick? Well, I feel that she's definitely gone through change. It seemed to be one that was being debated. And I totally agree it's debatable how much change. I do agree with that. But I do think she's gone through change. I am not expecting her to be exactly as she was. Otherwise, what was the whole psychology stuff about? Plus, also, she did seem a little different if you compare what she looked like at the start to how she looked at the end. And certainly, she showed she wasn't as angry. You know, she was able to let things go. But I think because the Lily doll had been selling... Oh, and funny, actually, because there's a pop vinyl that's coming out that's got Alexa with Lily. So, I don't know. I don't know if there was some pressure that was put on maybe by some people to get the Lily doll to stay. I really don't know. But it feels to me like they started those psychiatrist segments with the intention of changing her completely. And then I don't know if it's like during or what's happened, but it doesn't make any sense whatsoever for them to go through that change and then at the very end say, well, keep the doll. You know that thing we're trying to get you to like move on from? Just keep it. Like, it didn't make any sense whatsoever. So it can only be because of how it's been selling, and it could only be because there's a Mattel figure coming out, there's a pop vinyl coming out, the doll itself is selling on WWE Shop. Charlotte making her way down. She looks great. I don't know if I'd say. I don't know. I suppose she looks like she's about to do some dancing. It looks like she's about to do something on like one of those Dancing with the Stars type shows. Sonya's got her arm in a sling. Right, Naomi and Ronda making their way down. Is this where there's a huge botch? I don't know that it's a huge botch, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if I would call it a huge botch. I mean, it doesn't look good. But a huge botch. Don't know. We spoke about it last week, and apparently it is getting edited, so it's not as obvious. Here's Rowdy Ronda Rousey. She's got her hair over at the side. It's playful, Ronda. She's got a shirt on that says bad reputation. Sign in the crowd says we miss Paige. Oh, no, 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 no. Ronda in the ring. Robin, shout out to you. Can't wait for this terrible bunch. Rule number 1, sign the damn contract. Ronda needs to put a little bit more into her talking, doesn't she? She does sound very robotic. Rule number 1, sign the damn contract. Did you forget how to spell your name? It's B-I-T-C. You've never beaten me. Ronda telling everyone to shut up. Sonya, sign the contract. Sonya signs it. Charlotte signs it. She's very proud with her, the way she signed it. You guys can back out of the match. If you don't stop stalling, I'm going to flip this table over and use your head as the pen. I like that. Boos for Charlotte. Four women together at a table. This wasn't going to go Real Housewives on us. I'm not sure about Dr. Britt Baker. As you know, she is in AEW Wrestling, so I don't know if her contract will be expired. If it does, she might come to the main roster. Not sure about Britt Baker. She's in AEW. I don't think she's got any desire to come to WWE. Okay, so new stipulation added. Ronda to fight the match with one arm behind her back. Just say no. Just go no. I don't want to do that. Yeah, do that. Just go no. I don't want to do that. Stupid. That's a stupid stipulation. I don't want to do it. Ronda said, I'm still going to tap dance on your forehead. Ronda says she's got two hands tonight. She throws it. So you see the moment where Charlotte's head hits the table. They used the camera from behind. You can still see that her head doesn't really make connection with the table, but I ain't calling that a big botch. I don't know about that. It felt rushed. That whole thing didn't feel very impactful. It felt a bit rushed. We've got Ronda and Naomi in the ring. We've got Charlotte and Sonya on the outside. It wasn't that bad. The shot that someone took from the side. Oh, it looked worse, obviously, but WWE just edited it so it was the camera from behind. Ronda didn't want to learn how to do the spot or just botched it. That's not Ronda's fault. That's not Ronda's fault. She grabs Charlotte's head and goes to move it down. What she meant to do. She grabs her head and goes to move it down. It's Charlotte that puts her hands out and is only prepared to go so far. Like, it's Charlotte that doesn't lower her head low enough. Like, I don't understand why Ronda gets the blame for that. Ronda grabs Charlotte by the back of the head, hurls it down. She's obviously not gonna like drag it all the way down because you don't need to do that in that spot. You know, Charlotte can, you know, the momentum should mean that Charlotte can control it herself. So I don't see that as being Ronda's fault. We spoke about it before we even got a chance to see it, that I think part of the problem is that Ronda's a little bit green, and I think there's still a few trust issues. And I think that for Charlotte, if I was Charlotte, I would be a little concerned that Ronda's about to knock me out. Like, genuinely, I would be concerned that she's going to grab me in the back of the head and smash me into that table. So, you know, Ronda grabbing her and only taking it so far, I actually think is a good thing. What Charlotte needs to do at that point is when her head goes down, she needs to complete that journey. She needs to carry on going down all the way. But she doesn't. And I can only imagine that it's because, I don't know if they went through it a few times backstage. I don't know if Charlotte was maybe under the impression that Ronda was going to take her head all the way down. I would have thought Charlotte would have been concerned about that, what with Ronda being so green. So, I don't know. It's I don't see that as being Ronda's fault. I think, to be honest, it's just one of those things that happens. But it got blown way out of proportion, that did. There was, like, newspapers picking up on it because everyone was getting so excited about a botch. Honestly, my approach to that is it was the internet wrestling community being virgins. That's what that was. How long do you think it'll be until we get new Elite Road Warriors or maybe even Ultimates? I don't know, to be honest, because I don't know if they're available to make figures of. You have to be under like some kind of merch deal, I believe, or there has to be an agreement that's struck. And obviously, sadly, Hawk has passed away. I think Animal passed as well, didn't he? So you'd have to go to their families now, I think, to get the to be allowed to do them, because I don't believe they're under WWE contracts. So you'd have to go to the families to get the okay. I don't know how high they are on the priorities. I mean, they've done Road Warrior figures originally, like in black with the black shoulder pads. They've done those. They've even done the red Elites, and I believe have they done. I don't know if they've done red battle packs. They did blue shoulder pad battle packs. So there are 3 different kinds of Legion of Doom figures that are already available, that are out there. They haven't been around for a while, and as I said, it might be because they're not under contracts. You've now got to go to the families to get permission, so it might just not be. The priority is always going to be current stars, and then as people become available that haven't been available, they will then look to obviously prioritize those. So like now Cody is back. All of a sudden he has got to be a top priority of Mattel to Cody. Whatever Cody wears when we see him, or maybe what he wears at WrestleMania, that is going to be an absolute top priority for Mattel. They are going to get that figure done as a priority. No doubt about that. So it just means that then, they don't get back round to doing certain ones. Right, we are at commercial break. Contract signing done. 14 minutes into the show. It was all right. It was all right. It was a bit rushed. They were kind of talking over each other. It didn't really have too much of an impact. I think the stipulation's a bit silly. It's the kind of thing Sonya would do, though, in all fairness. So, yeah. That's where we are. What do you think, or where do you think all the Legend Stings that cancelled ended up? Well, they, to be honest, if they had plans to make some Sting figures, if it had got so far in the process, then they would have been released, because they're still going ahead with that Burnt Fiend, because I believe that had gone too far into the process. So Burnt Fiend came out months and months and months after Bray got released. About 6 months. Because I think once you get so many months into the process, you can't turn it around. You can't stop that machine. You can't stop that process. So any Sting figures that they had planned that never came out probably didn't get far enough to actually get mass-produced, mass-manufactured. Roman Goldberg face-to-face. Roman Goldberg face-to-face. We've got Sheamus and we've got Ridge Holland in the ring. I'd imagine the ratings for tonight's show are going to be a bit poor. I don't know. Are we on Sci-Fi? But I'd imagine they'll be a bit poor because well, the results are out there for any fans that want to know what happens tonight. It saves people having to watch the show. It's all about tomorrow, isn't it? We will be live tomorrow at least an hour before the kickoff show. I can't, I mean, look, it's already set up. Tomorrow's stream is already on the channel and set up. So as soon as we're done with this tonight, I will set it as the trailer, set it as the main video you see when you come on the channel. But that is set up and ready for tomorrow. It's on Fox. Ah, thank you. I didn't know if it was like on FS1 or I know Raw's been on Sci-Fi or where we were. So if this is Fox, that's still a major channel. They'll still get a good rate in them. But it might just be... Oh, it's just a one-on-one. It might just be a little bit down on usual. So, Sheamus versus Ricochet. It's good to see Ricochet being used on a regular basis. I don't mind his ring gear as well. Look at that. I don't mind that ring gear. Black with like flame up the one leg. A bit distracted by the tassels that he's got on the front. Maybe don't need those, but that is quite nice ring gear. I like the flames. I like the flames up the one leg. Throws Sheamus back in. Duck underneath by Ricochet. Springboards. Roll through. Gets picked up. Backbreaker. Backbreaker by Sheamus. Grabbing Ricochet. Dragging him over to the corner. Could you imagine Ricochet in AEW? It'd be perfect over there. Foot on the side of the face of Ricochet. I'm going to stream Elimination Chamber tomorrow, but I can't start early. I'm going to stream at 5 when it starts, says Dave. Dave, had a good one. Enjoy it. It doesn't let me watch SmackDown on Peacock. I've got no idea why it's not on Peacock, but Peacock have got the rights to all the back catalogue, but they don't have the rights to the live shows. The live shows are on like Fox and they're on USA because they've spent a lot of money paying for the live shows. I say live, this week's pre-recorded, of course, but you get my point. Ricochet ring gear tease. Seth is going to form his own tag team. Ricochet will be a part of it. Outlet said, thoughts on SmackDown? To be honest, I think it's been a little bit weak. I'm trying to think if SmackDown's been blowing my mind, and I don't think it has. SmackDown was, I thought, the best brand for a good chunk of 2021. I think Roman was doing brilliant. And, you know, if Roman opens the show and he closes the show, or the Usos are involved or something, and, you know, the Roman story, I mean, that takes up at least a quarter of the show, if not more. So then you just need to use all the other superstars that you've got at your disposal and use them in a way where you get something interesting. And SmackDown was like a really solid brand, but it doesn't quite feel that way at the moment. I think that you know, like, look, we haven't opened with Roman here. Like, there's been a little less of Roman. He's not really got like his feud at Royal Rumble was Seth. So that was like a Raw superstar. Now his feud is Goldberg, that I don't think anyone cares about. So there's not like a great feud happening on SmackDown, which is a little bit of a problem. And so as a result, we don't see him as much. So I think it's taken a little step backwards, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. You know, I'm quite optimistic for WrestleMania season. And obviously Ronda being back feels like a big deal. Do you think Sheamus Holland will be the new SmackDown Tag Champs? There might be, but there might be. It's probably the best way you can use Ridge Holland at the moment. I mean, he is green, and when someone's like new and green, they tend to put them with someone. I mean, Boogs has been put with Nakamura. Ridge Holland has been put with Sheamus. So, Amos was put with AJ. Commander Aziz was put with, like, Apollo. Like, there is a rich history of them doing this. So, I could see them being together for a while. I suppose forming a tag team wouldn't be the worst way to use them. I can finally watch Volta versus Cara Noir. You need to watch it when you can, says James. Oh, okay, I do. I still haven't seen it. I really want to watch it. Battle of the Epic Entrances, that's what it is. A lot of people thought it was just Roman that made SmackDown great. It wasn't. It was an overall great show, says Shola. Who do you think will win the Women's Chamber match? I'm leaning to Bianca. I'm leaning to Bianca because the rumors were Bianca versus Becky. At WrestleMania. To be honest, Bianca has got to be like either the favorite or joint favorite. I know Alexa being added to it is interesting because we know that she's selling a lot of merch. She's just had a lot of screen time with the psychiatrist kind of segments. But I think Bianca gets the win and gets revenge. There is a chance that Alexa wins and then Bianca finds a way of getting added to the match. So we actually end up with Becky versus Alexa versus Bianca. Like, I wouldn't rule that out being a triple threat. So Alexa could win and then Bianca gets added at a later date. Or Bianca could win and maybe Alexa gets added at a later date. Or maybe we just get Becky versus Bianca. But I really feel that Bianca is going to be in at that title match. I think Becky-Bianca is happening. It's just I don't know if Alexa gets added to it or not. I'm not expecting... I don't know who else is in it. Liv, Doudrop. I mean, Rhea's been getting a nice little push. I would not be down on Rhea versus Becky versus Bianca. I would not be down on that at all. I think Rhea and Bianca, I'd love to see them two at WrestleMania. Rhea and Bianca, to me, feels like a wonderful number one contenders match. If Becky is your champion, I would love night one of WrestleMania to be Bianca versus Rhea. Winner faces Becky on night 2. I think that if I was to book it, that's what I would do. Rhea versus Bianca, the two most promising young up-and-coming superstars. They've already got a nice little history where they were the final two of last year's Royal Rumble. Bianca got the win there. But I think they might have faced down in NXT. I'm sure they would have. I can't remember, to be honest, but I'm sure they would have. But night one, WrestleMania, Bianca versus Rhea. Winner faces Becky on night 2. I think that would be brilliant. So I would book something towards that. Strikes coming in by Ricochet. 25 minutes gone so far. What would be your Dream Mania main event for this year? If I could choose anything, if I didn't have anything in my way, I would have. I mean, it's got to be realistic, so I would have Cena against Gunther. We spoke about that before. I think that would be a great match. I would have maybe, you can't do it, but Triple H against Cody. I said earlier, I think you've got one opportunity to tell the story about how Cody left and started a rival company. You've got to tell that story soon if you're going to do it. If not, then you're going to miss that opportunity forever. And I just think that's too big of an opportunity. I just think like Triple H, who represented NXT, and Cody that represented AEW, like settling their problems in a ring. I think that would have been brilliant, but Triple H can't do it. But I would have absolutely loved that. What I just said with Becky as well, that's what I'd do for the women's title. Men's title, I really don't know. Men's title, I think, is hard. Men's title, I would need someone that I would want to see win it, and there just isn't anyone. I don't care if Seth wins. I don't care if Bobby's the champion now, so I'd probably leave it on Bobby. But who could beat Bobby at WrestleMania? Who should beat Bobby at WrestleMania? I'm not bothered about Damian Priest. Not bothered about Seth. Not bothered about it being Kevin Owens. I think Seth and Kevin Owens face each other anyway. AJ, Edge. I mean, maybe Edge could finally do it. Maybe Bobby against Edge, and we get Edge finally winning the title. But I know people want Edge AJ, so you can't really do that. Ricochet with a Spanish fly, and Sheamus gets his shoulder up. They're really giving these two some time here. But Ricochet up top with Sheamus. Spanish fly. Comes crashing down onto Sheamus. I'm calling it now. Cody will be the booker of NXT. That's his father's legacy also. Shame that Triple H Cody would be great. AJ should have a go with the belt. I'd be down for that. Do you think Ricochet can get a title? Can Ricochet get a title? Well, there's nothing stopping him being... he's got the win there, look. Listen, if Ricochet was Intercontinental Champion and every week just kept having incredible matches, that would be brilliant. I would sign me up for that. I mean, he's just had a nice match there, a decent match there with Sheamus. So Ricochet gets the win, and there's a little bit of trouble here between Sheamus and Ridge. Ridge jumped up. Sheamus tells him to leave him alone. Ooh, didn't see this happening. Is he going to brogue him? No. He, is he? He's kind of in position to be brogued, but I think no. So, Ridge just got pushed over. A bit of a lover's tiff. Interesting. Sheamus IC champ at WrestleMania. Nice win for Ricochet. Seems like Vince is coming around to him. Sheamus turn on Ridge Holland. 50-50 booking of Ricochet. Liv Zillion Stan said they did face TakeOver Portland for the NXT Women's title. Handbags between Ridge and Sheamus. Yeah, lovers tiff. Hopefully they can not book Ricochet 50-50. And hopefully we could get like some real momentum. And I would love to see him winning week after week. So last week, Boogs electrocuted. Nakamura was bro kicked. Backstage with Kayla Braxton. Here's Sami. Sami Zayn Forever shirt. Sami said he had nothing to do with what happened with Rick Boogs. It was a coup. I was ousted. I was overthrown. It's true. He never lost that IC belt. They've done everything they can to embarrass me. They blocked my documentary. You're still going on about that? I've been arrested. I've been put in a wheelchair. Tonight is going to be the best night of my life. He's such a good promo, isn't he? Sammy is so good at this. So much personality. He needs space. He's telling Kayla to go away. He's taking a deep breath. He's trying to get centered and get ready for his Intercontinental Championship match tonight. I love Sammy. We want the documentary. We need the documentary. Do you think Goldberg's going to win? I don't know. Harley said, I think Austin will return in a few weeks because you need a few weeks of Kevin Owens bashing Texas. And then I think Cody will return either tomorrow or Raw to set up a possible match with Seth. Can we do a poll on who should represent our community to LMK? No, because it should be no one. There should be no more interacting with LMK. She doesn't need the hassle. She doesn't need the messages. She doesn't need the questions. She just needs to be allowed to live her life the best she can. There does not need to be an LMK representative. That was my TED Talk. Darcy said, I think Via should induct The Undertaker. It's the only thing that makes logical sense. Listen, if anyone is going to finally bring Via into this company, it's going to need to be the dead man. You're absolutely right. You nailed it. You called it. Kayla is getting bullied again. The Great Liberator, says Ronnie. Sammy gives us everything. He even dances and beats up Johnny Knoxville. Sammy's brilliant. Sammy is brilliant. He's capable of incredible matches. It's just he's not allowed to show that in WWE. If he went to AEW, he would be one of their best in-ring talents. Sammy's in-ring. I mean, you see what he can do when he gets in there with Kevin Owens. And we all remember like his NXT matches, certainly that debut match against Shinsuke, which is still got to be in conversation for greatest NXT match of all time. Maybe not the greatest, but in the conversation. That match was massive. It was monumental how big that match was. Shinsuke coming in and going up against Sammy was so good. I mean, that's when NXT was just firing on all cylinders, man. Absolutely brilliant. So, I really rate him. I'd love to see him have a good Intercontinental Championship run, and then maybe eventually lose it to Ricochet if he is about to win it here. Sammy is brilliant, but I'm talking about Sammy Callahan. I have no idea what you're referring to. Remember last week I was telling you I was nervous for a presentation. I did it and I got 9 out of 10. Well, better luck next time, Rashawn. That is... I mean, it's disappointing. I'm not going to lie. I do expect a higher standard from this community. To think that you clearly fell short somewhere, I think is disappointing. But there's always tomorrow. That's what you've got to remember. Tomorrow is your opportunity to get 10 out of 10. So dry those tears away, Rashawn. Wipe those eyes. Dry those tears away. You'll get that 10 tomorrow. Even though tomorrow is Saturday and you're probably not at school. Lone Star Friend said 9 out of 10 is an A in my book. It's an A in my book as well. Absolutely, it's an A in my book as well. We do look for A+, though. I'm not going to lie. That's what we look for. What meal would you eat for the rest of your life? I would eat... what would I eat? Don't know. Pizza. You can have different ones. Sandwiches, you can have different ones. We got a video package about some boomer in black. I don't know. Is he some kind of goth? What is this? Undertaker. Is he new? Is he coming? Is he like Via? This is a good hype package, man. He looks good. It's a very young-looking Roman that just said a few words there. Here's a tough SOB. Oh, Metallica? I'm the one who cares. It's a good video package, man, with Metallica. Patrol. Yeah, he must be new. He's been future endeavoured. Wow, what a way to announce it. Wish him all the best in his future endeavours. Rest in peace. I'm excited for him. He looks great. Great Metallica song. Great song. Pulling no punches here, are they? They've gone and got the... they paid the money. Yeah, really great video package. Dragging Hogan behind the motorcycle. Oh, yes. Yeah, got a bit of Paul Bearer in there. Of course we did. 6 down the streak. 20-0. 21-0. Long time no see. Glad to see you doing well. Love from Liverpool. Love the channel support. Shout out to you, dude. My Scoosy 1980. Hope you are well. Just watching a video package on the Undertaker getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Just seeing Undertaker in Scooby-Doo. Seeing him on Regis and Kathy Lee. There he is with Jimmy Fallon, maybe, I don't know. That's him with Chris Rock. That's him on ESPN. Just seeing all of his TV show appearances. I mean, damn. They could do 2 hours of just Undertaker highlights, couldn't they? This is the longest video package I have ever seen. I can't remember another video package being this long, but just... They've got like 30 years of footage to use. And just when you think, like, okay, they're showing everything, then you get, like, the Boneyard match. And lots of, like, little great fan signs. Lots of talking head pieces. Kane saying he's the greatest character in the history of the company. Someone's forgetting Duke the Dumpster Drozy. His legacy is that there will never be another. Isn't that the same legacy of the gobbledygooker? We've got Roman backstage. So, Roman chatting away with the Usos. Paul Heyman sat in the background. We've got Roman and Goldberg facing off tomorrow at Elimination Chamber. That was amazing. Sales of Undertaker's Blu-ray must have slowed down too much for Vince's liking. Undertaker is McMahon's greatest creation, besides WrestleMania. Apparently, Asuka could be cleared by the end of Feb. That's good news. Lee said, well, that just upped my score for tonight's show. Dave said, that was the greatest video package I've ever seen. Will Brock win at WrestleMania? He could do. I hope he doesn't, but he could do. I don't want Brock to be the one to beat Roman. Why does it always have to be Brock? Brock ends the streak, and now Brock ends this little run as well. Brock killed Kofi Mania as well. Why is it always got to be Brock? Can't it be someone else? What concert only costs 45 cents? 50-cent featuring Nickelback. I feel like you've done that one before. I feel like you might have done that before. When hype is better than the match. Undertaker to AJ, you won't last as long as I did. Sting, hold my beer. Just seeing a video package now. Going to be a lot of this tonight, isn't there? We said this last week, like the actual in-ring stuff. I think, you know, they've already got a crowd that have sat there for a while. They're not going to make them sit there for another 2 hours. They will have made them sit there for, say, an hour. And then that means we're going to have to fill an hour with video packages and fill an hour with, you know, backstage stuff and whatnot. So now we've got a video package just hyping up Elimination Chamber, Goldberg, Roman. We just had a long video package with Undertaker. We had a backstage Sammy interview as well. And we're only 44 minutes in. God mode Roman. Roman is going to retain at Mania. Down comes The Rock to face Roman, setting their match for a year's time. Sting has had many hours off before he eventually comes to WWE. Brock never fought Batista. Do you think that match could sell? Sure. Yeah. I mean, it would be, I don't know if it would be, you could do it for somewhere like Saudi now. You could see that match at Saudi. You could maybe even do it at WrestleMania. I mean, Batista's, I don't know what he does now. He was in, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't know if he's been in anything else. This video package is still going. There's been whispers that Goldberg wins. Some way, somehow, Lesnar interferes and Goldberg wins. We all don't want to see it, but the Prince of Saudi does. And you don't pee off the Saudi Prince. Here's the Usos. Brock faced Batista in OVW. Batista is in a bunch of movies now. What does Reigns mean when he's going to Goldberg? I don't know. Botch. Botch. That's what he's going to do. Everyone is in Saudi now. They are, yes. He's filming Dune 2. He was in Dune. So there we go. Right, Usos are in the ring. The Guardian of the Galaxy versus the Tribal Chief. Everyone knows this match will be awful, sad but true. Batista was in a Bond movie. Yeah, it was quite a few years ago now, Spectre. Same as Guardians of the Galaxy. I just didn't know what he was doing now. I mean, I didn't know he was in Dune, to be honest. I never saw that film. But it's good that he's still doing stuff. So, if there's a buzz around him, then that would obviously help sell it if we did get the match. But we won't. He's retired. I think he's done. I don't think they'd be looking to bring him back, to be honest. Fandango should be world champion. Is it Usos Viking Raiders now, is it? I thought that was tomorrow. Sheamus should be classified as a legend. Wouldn't a trip to Saudi warrant a 2-week quarantine? No. They went in, when was it? September. They did Crown Jewel, and there was no quarantining then. I saw an interview with Goldberg. He said he'll re-sign if they book me to dethrone Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber. Well, it's been great. It's been great seeing him. I wish him all the best in his retirement. I've got not a single fibre of my body is interested in seeing him win that match tomorrow. Goldberg being the one to beat Roman, I think, would be rubbish. Even if it was Lesnar that cost it. And Lesnar cost him wouldn't make much sense because, like, is Lesnar against Roman just going to be a non-title match? Like, that would suck. I wouldn't like that. It's not the way I would go at all. But as was pointed out, you know, if the Crown Prince wants it, then well, tough. He ain't the booker. That's what I would say. You're not the booker. Dude, what are you doing, Becky? Why are you even talking to me? Shut up. Just give me money. Just give me money and shut up. You're the same idiot that wanted the Ultimate Warrior and Yokozuna, but they're dead. You ain't got a clue what you're on about. I talked to you at the last show. Well, hopefully see you tomorrow as well. Dave, should Gable Steveson do the singing at WrestleMania? Sure. Yeah. I'd love to see him give America the Beautiful a go. Bryce said, calling it now. Drew is going to be Universal Champion this year. Rise said, whoever beats Roman has got to be the ultimate babyface. Maybe Ricochet. Luke said, is anyone interested in the Goldberg match? I'm not, to be honest. I'm not. I mean, there's only bad things that can happen in that match. I mean, the match itself doesn't interest me. And then, you know, little rumors of Goldberg potentially winning means that there's potentially only bad things that are going to come out of it. So hopefully it opens the show. Hopefully Roman retains, and then we can get on to some better stuff. Right, here. So this is what? One-on-one, is it? Ivar. So these two teams are going to be facing tomorrow. Raid. Anyone doing it. Anyone doing it. That woman's doing it. One woman doing it. They managed to find one lady doing it. No one in the entranceway I could see doing it. Ivar versus, I don't know which one of the Usos. I don't know which one. Jimmy, Jay, who cares? Jamie. It's Jimmy or Jay. It's Jamie. Do you think we will see more camels tomorrow? I hope so. It's the only reason I'm watching. I'm hoping that Seth is taken out of Elimination Chamber. They put a camel in one of the pods instead. Imagine that. A camel going mental inside the Elimination Chamber. You tell me that that's not going to bring views and complaints. That woman was signaling the Nacho guy. She was like, ooh, ooh. She wants some nachos. What do you think if Cody participates tomorrow? I'll be surprised if he participates. I am leaning towards him being there. 60-40 that we see him, but that's probably, you know, it's probably growing. The more that we're hearing, you know, Harley, I think, has had his flight tracked by the sounds of it. Apparently he landed in Poland, so... There's 3 women's matches in Saudi Arabia. Also, one of them has a bi, and one of them has a lesbian. It's great progress. I can't imagine WWE even mention that, though, would they? I'd be very disappointed if WWE said, look, we'd like to book these matches. One of them is a lesbian and one of them is bisexual. Like that, I'd be very disappointed if that even got brought up. But it is progress, considering we didn't have any women's matches at all. Cody won't appear until the night after Mania, says Lee. Liv and Zelina Stan said Batista might return next year to promote Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Would you consider watching Peacemaker? John Cena is great in it. It's not my thing. He's in a costume, isn't he? He's in a costume. Unless he's Batman, I'm not interested. But I've heard that it's very, very good. What have they used? What is that? Oh, the headgear. Jeez, it looked like a Papa Shango skull. Because it's got hair on it. But he actually uses the headgear. And DQ. Win for Ivar. There you go. I didn't notice that the one has got hair and the other one hasn't on their headgear. Well, there we go. Right, what we got now? Last Friday. Oh, yeah, Drew bullied Boogs. Came in with his sword and is like, you tell the doctor you're fine. You tell the doctor you're fine, princess, yeah? Yeah, that's right, you tell him you're fine. It's no longer a regular match we're having. I was at the cinema. I saw a film in 4D. You need to see a film in 4D. What film did you see in 4D? Wrestle with Andy. Was it porn? If so, how was it? Don't answer that. Don't answer it. Don't answer it, bud. Wrestle with Andy going to a cinema to watch a film in 4D. 4D is where not only is it 3D, but there's like, I believe, you know, like things that get shot in your face and whatever. I mentioned it because Saudi Arabia is known to be against gay people. Yes. But I just don't know if it would come up. I mean, they, you know, progress is being made, but I don't know that they might not even know. Like the Crown Prince might not even know. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he does, and hopefully he's like, yeah, it's cool. Madcap giving Drew his lunch money. You give me your lunch money now, yeah, princess? You give me your lunch money now. And you don't tell anyone. Because I've got a sword. Dun, dun, dun. Drew and his sword. I wasn't expecting a strong crowd tonight because of, you know. Wow, there might be sweetening it a little bit. I don't know. With 4D, you're in the movie. What? Maybe it was porn. Maybe it's a brand new adventure for Wrestle with Andy. I don't know. I wouldn't date her because she was 4D. 40. Too young. Drew was supposed to be out of action for months. He should have. It would have boosted his popularity. Days, we're not against homosexuals, but we do not interfere with them, and they do not interfere with us. We all know Sonya's sexual orientation doesn't cause a problem for us. That's good. Apple and Onion fan said, Days, should Isaac Yankem go into the Hall of Fame? No. Don't hate on Drew because he has a bigger sword than you. Oh, I don't have any sword at all. I mean, I've got a knife I eat my dinner with. I can confirm his sword is bigger than that. I'm not a fan of his sword gimmick. I think Madcap Moss beats Drew with help from Happy Corbin tomorrow, says Dave. Why doesn't Madcap just bring a bigger sword? I don't get it. If it's just a battle of swords, just go get a bigger one. Get something that can beat a sword. Do you know what I mean? If this is like rock, paper, scissors, then I don't know what beats sword. How about if he gets, one of those sword covers that you put over a sword so that then it's not sharp and it's not a problem? Why doesn't he just come to the ring with one of them? And then when Drew's like sticking the sword out like that, he can just go, shh, and then it's not a problem. All it is then is just like something you can wallop someone with. I mean, make it furry as well, and it might not even hurt. Can have like sponges on it. There's ways around this, Or he could just pop a little bit of blue tack on the end. when he's got the sword out like that, just reach into his pocket very slowly. Pop a little bit of blue tack on the end. Done. There's ways around this, honestly. Madcap needs to stop being intimidated. There are many rumors about women appearing on advertisements from the year 2000 or before. Oh, I have no doubt whatsoever that WWE is hyping up that they are bringing progress when progress has already been happening. And I have no doubts about that. It's not like WWE to take responsibility for something that either didn't happen or wasn't there, wasn't down to them. So, yeah, I must admit, that doesn't surprise me. Right, here's Drew. You used to live in Mandeville? I learned the only people that can keep up with the Scots drinking is the people in New Orleans. Okay, so he got arrested. The policeman recognized him and said, "Get out of the car, you." What did he do? Did he kill a man or something? Don't worry about that. Come on, let's have a party. Let's have a drink. That was actually, like, when he said about how he got arrested and it wasn't his fault, of course. Like, there was a little laugh from the audience there. Like, that was something I think the crowd were genuinely engaged with. It's good. Instead of him talking nonsense, just like being a bit real. It might be a way forward for Drew. Which would mean getting rid of a stupid sword. I'm 50% sure this crowd is fake. Yeah, I reckon it's been sweetened. I agree. Comes across well, though, doesn't it? Let's not forget they were doing that when there was no one there. Let's never forget that. Let's never forget that when there was no one in the room, they were still giving us those noises. It is true. If you hear the thing and then look at the people in the background, it doesn't marry up. People in the background sat like this. Maybe even that little joke didn't connect then. Hashtag Madcap Mauling. Now I see why Drew was arrested. The best thing to come out of Cody coming to WWE is the memes. Oh, I've not seen the memes. Oh, I did see one of Cody with a big super glue trying to fix that throne that he smashes. I did see that one. I got sent that one. Yeah, that is true. What kind of role model are you? It is true. He is creating a hashtag Madcap Mauling. What I hear is that you're nowhere near 100%. We're going to be laughing all the way home. What does Drew McIntyre's bad neck... What does Drew McIntyre's bad neck have in common with a popular breakfast cereal? They both go snap, crackle, and pop. He's getting a bigger pop than Roman. Their chance of Goldberg. It's fake crowd. I mean, you just look at the background. When you hear a noise, look at the background, look at the people in the background, and they're just like, there's a lot of empty seats. Do you know what? There's a lot of empty seats. If you look in the background, you can see a lot of people leaving and a lot of empty seats. Right. Days, Cody will show up before Via. Yes. Cody will play the Elimination Chamber match alternative. There is no one in that crowd. They're asking Shinsuke, what's your plan? And he goes, my plan is kick Sammy in the face. Good plan. Good plan. He must really be insane. So, Shinsuke going out. So, they doing that match now? Okay, so Boogs has been electrocuted. He is not here. So, no Boogs. So, we've just got Shinsuke. Shinsuke. 178 days he's had this for, this championship. And I think this is his first title defense. His first title defense? I don't know. I saw people leaving in the background. I did not see one person standing. Crowd going for refreshments. There's a lot of crowd that have gone for refreshments then, because there was big whole sections that were empty. When you look at the crowd from the hard cam, that's nice and full. But when you actually look at the crowd over to the right, you can see there's big sections that have got no one sat in them. So I don't know, maybe if people were moving around or what was happening. But those on the hard cam, that looks all right. It still looks all right on TV. In all fairness, we know, because there's been footage shown of people that have been hired. Do you remember? It came out, I don't know, a couple of months ago. There was footage of a guy backstage talking to a load of people going, right, this is your job tonight. As soon as someone gets up, you jump into their seat. If that person then comes back, then you just apologize, say that you work for WWE, and you're just making sure that, you know, the environment is kept exciting and full for those at home. And, you know, you just exit the seat and give them their seat back. But we know there's people that do that. So there's every chance that some of those people in that section opposite the hard cam are WWE employees. There's every chance that that is something that has happened. I mean, I don't know how regular it happens, because sometimes they just move people around. They just tell people to, like, move around, get a better view, sit a bit closer, fill up the spaces that are opposite the hard cam. So they could have done that, or they could have actually got people to fill the seats. It was a really interesting video. The guy came across as lovely. The guy that was, like, you know, talking to these people, telling them how to do it, he came across as great. Really, like, seemed to enjoy his job. And there was a lot of people that were saying, like, oh, this is embarrassing. But I didn't think it was embarrassing. I mean, like, you know, this is the second taping. It was people have already been there for, I don't know if they do main event before or whatever they do, but obviously they've already gone through a 2-hour SmackDown. And now they're for this. Could be a little bit late as well. I don't know if the show started early. We could be pushing on for about 11 o'clock by the time we're here. People, you know, want to beat the traffic, get home. You know, I can definitely see why people would be going. So yeah, could be that's in play. Doesn't matter. It looks fine on TV. Days, it looks like NXT Level Up is only 35 minutes long. Oh, lovely. I'll take that. Crowd planters are in every company. WWE, Impact, and AEW. Shola said, it's Friday. It's not like they've got work tomorrow. Some people just don't want to be out too late, though, do they? Kids might be falling asleep. It's getting close to 11 o'clock at night. Might have a couple of hours travel. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. But some people might have work. Kids won't be at school, but anyone that works in retail would obviously have to be working, or if you're a nurse or whatever. So I was offered to do it at a WWE show. Was you? You were offered to do it? That's interesting. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. It just makes it look better on TV. And as I said, the clip that leaked, the guy that was organising it seemed to really enjoy his job, and he was having a joke with them all. And he wasn't saying anything bad about, like, the crowd, or, you know, he was just saying, like, if they come back and, you know, they're a bit unhappy, just apologise, say, look, you know, explain why you did it, and just say, it's not a problem, here's your seat back. Honorary pace car driver, Big E, on Sunday at 2:30. Big E is an honorary pace car driver. Right, Shinsuke in the ring. Waiting for Sammy to make his way down. Here he comes. Here he comes. Samuel Zayn. Dancing away. Going up to people. He's even got Sami Zayn Forever on his tights. So he's got black, like, tights, leggings, and it's got Sami Zayn Forever on those. Hall of Fame, Undertaker. Lily will be on the shoulder of a debut in Stardust. The guy in the Thunderdome was telling us how to react. It was weird. Okay, now, cheer. Can you please cheer? We got Shinsuke. We need chants of Shinsuke. Show your support for Shinsuke, everyone. Show your support for Shinsuke. He's just been announced. Now we're going over to Sami Zayn. So I need boos. Thumbs down, everyone. Thumbs down. Boos. Boo. That's it. Excellent work. The better you react, the better screen you will be put on. It is weird. We're just part of the machine now. We have to react a certain way now. Did you check out VR? You can watch football in the stadium, and WWE Massive Screen can have watch parties. I've got an Oculus headset, but I didn't. Haven't checked out like sport on there. I did watch some on Netflix on there, which was great. You're in like this living room, this virtual reality living room. It's got a nice fireplace, and there's a sofa, and you can just kind of sit there and watch on, you know, what looks to be a big screen. You can just watch this show, and it's very good. Yeah, so I've seen that. Harley said, Days, I've tweeted you one of the reports and articles that has the Cody picture in it, and now I've sent it to you. I've took all the pressure off myself, and now if Cody doesn't show up, it's Days' fault. I don't think that's how it works, to be honest. I think there is an awful lot of pressure on you. An awful lot of pressure on you to deliver now. I think everyone is associating Cody being on screen at Saudi Arabia with Harley Select. So, we'll see. We'll see. Who just said Sammy is today's Piper? How dare you say that? There's crazy rumors that Sammy and Knoxville will have a match at WrestleMania. Too bad we know who wins. Daisy's side job, WWE Thunderdome fan voice coach. It was me. It was me all along. They should have Sergeant Slaughter doing it. Right, you maggots. You can go off on the crowd. Kicks coming in by Shinsuke. Nice insecurity. Sami Zayn goes down. So they're doing this match before the Roman Goldberg face-to-face. Whilst we're just starting with this match, worth mentioning, we are back tomorrow with football. We've got football first. In fact, I need to have a look to see what it is. I think it's like West Ham, Newcastle. Yep. So we've got West Ham versus Newcastle. That is at 7:30 in the morning Eastern. That finishes, and as soon as that finishes, about 2:30, boom shakalaka, we are straight into Elimination Chamber. So I think Elimination Chamber starts at 5. Pre-show is at 4. We are looking to start at 2:30. It's about that ballpark. So it's go big or go home. Go big or go home. And we're going big. So, yeah, we're doing the football match at West Ham Newcastle. Then we're doing Elimination Chamber. Then we're doing UFC. Then hopefully we're going to do Winter Olympics. Then we're going to do closing ceremony. Then we've got 2 football matches to watch. Then I'm going to pass out. That is my next 2 days. 3 football games, Winter Olympics, closing ceremony, Elimination Chamber, UFC. Within 48 hours. Not even that. Not even that. It's going to be fun. And busy. And fun. This is the first time the IC title has been defended since Shinsuke gave Apollo his rematch. That's crazy. Shirley said, I watched a preview of WWE 2K22. It looks good. Burn It Down said, what's your chamber predictions? Probs do them in the time we've got before. Zachary says, you're going to be dead after all of that. Well, I've got to go sometime. Justin said, that's a lot. That is a lot. Jey Uso should beat Roman or cost Roman. Thumbs down to Shins. Shola said, I didn't know the Winter Olympics was ending. Yeah, this weekend. Yeah, this weekend. So it's on tonight, but obviously I can't do it tonight. My only opportunity to get some sleep is, like, after this. So I'm going to go to bed after this, wake up, do that football game. So, yeah. I really want to watch the last bit of Winter Olympics because that is going to be the 4-man bobsled. And that's the event, is the 4-man bobsled. So I really want to watch that. And it's always worth watching the closing ceremony. So we'll try and watch that. And then we've got a couple of games. And so, yeah, it's big. I think the biggest thing, though, is going to be Elimination Chamber. That'll be the of all the streams we're going to do, that'll be the biggest. So it's kind of nice in a way to get that done relatively early. Get it done. Move on. If Goldberg somehow wins, I won't watch WWE ever again. Football Days nearly at 4,000. I did see that. And honestly, it's about 50 away or so in it. 50, 60, something like this. I know it's on like 3.9 something. I don't know. I can't remember if it's like 20 or 40. It's 3.9 something. So yeah, I did see it was very close. So who knows? This weekend maybe get to 4,000, which would be nice. Set a little target of getting that to 10,000 by Christmas. I'm not feeling confident. But who knows? We've got a World Cup in there as well at the end of the year, and we are only in February. So we'll see. How do you think WWE is going to book Seth freaking Rollins' face turn? Well, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know how they're going to book anything because he was meant to be champion. He's not. Then it seemed like he was going to be in a feud with Kevin Owens. Now Cody's coming in. I mean, there's just so many moving parts that, maybe we'll get a better idea of his opponent for WrestleMania after Raw. Maybe after Elimination Chamber, but after Raw as well. Might get a better idea of where that's going. It seems like Owens is heading for Stone Cold, which surely leaves Seth free for something else. Maybe it leaves him free for the title, or maybe it leaves him free for Cody. Against the ropes, clothesline. Nakamura goes down. How often do you hear someone saying they won't watch WWE anymore? About every 5 minutes. Soccer is a popular sport. Don't sell yourself short, says Ronnie. It is very popular. It is very popular. It's good fun as well. Enjoy our football streams. I read that WWE has a swerve or two set for Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, says Aaron. Roman will smash Goldberg, says Elaine. Primo said, do you think we need another small shake-up after WrestleMania? Because the SmackDown roster and matches are boring. I don't know if it's maybe there'll be a little summit, but maybe there'll be some NXT call-ups. It seems like Raw after WrestleMania is really being promoted as a Raw after WrestleMania. Like, proper big, the most exciting Raw of the year. That's what the advert says. Past few years, it hasn't been because neither in 2020 or 2021 did we have a crowd. This is the first time since 2019 we will have a crowd at Raw after WrestleMania. So they're promoting it as the most exciting night of the year kind of a thing. So I expect to see some people come in, and if they're coming into Raw, surely they're coming into SmackDown. Lots of applause as there's a slide in German. The Storm destroyed the O2. Can anyone confirm Cody Rhodes to WWE? Well, WWE haven't confirmed it. Cody's not confirmed it. But there's so many rumors that we pretty much know where he's going. We know that, him being on a plane heading to Saudi Arabia, him filming vignettes. There's just we know a lot of detail. Wow! Great driver by Sami. Kick out by Shinsuke. Great driver by Sami Zayn. Oh my God, that's great. You don't see that kind of a move in WWE. Nakamura on the outside. Sami rolling out the ring. Sami on the outside. Is he going to go through the ropes? Oh, no, I've not seen Sami doing that for a long, long time. Going, jumping in between the ropes, trying to grab into like a DDT. But ends up getting kicked and going down. Knee strike into the ring, steps by Nakamura. Nakamura down as we go to commercial break. I wish this was pay-per-view and we didn't get so many flipping ad breaks. Sami about to fly. Do you blame Tony or the talent for Cody leaving? Probably Tony. I think that he wanted... Tony took his booking responsibilities away. I mean, that's, maybe from pressure from the books and from Kenny, but Tony's the one that has to sign it off. And apparently wouldn't give him the money he was looking for either, so... I don't know. I mean, Tony, but when I say Tony, it's his responsibility. It might not be his fault. Cody might have been asking for too much. Two great performers. This match will be like an hour Broadway, says Jacqueline Hydes. Into the steel steps goes Shinsuke, yeah, and we've gone to commercial break. Not a bad little match. Can Orton cost Riddle the chamber match? If yes, then why? Can he cost Riddle the chamber match? He can. I don't think he will. And if yes, why? Jealousy. Happy to be in a tag team with him, but doesn't want to see him be the champion when Randy thinks he's better. So you could tell that story. Maybe he feels he's getting a bit too big for his boots or something like that. I'm happy to team with you, but you think you're the man around here. You think you're the best around here. You think you are the champion around here when I'm in this promotion. How disrespectful of you, kind of a thing, Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You think I'm going to just allow you to walk around and call yourself the champion, call yourself the best when I'm in this promotion. So you could go that way, but I don't think he'll do that. How exactly did Cody's booking hurt the Bucks? It hurt the Bucks because Cody was booking himself wins over up-and-coming talent like Anthony Ogogo and other wrestlers as well. There was a few matches he had where he was getting wins and people didn't think he should have won them. So his booking was a bit of a problem, and you could see the crowd turning on Cody. So I think the way he was booking himself was not the way the Bucks would have done it, not the way that potentially Tony or Kenny would have done it. And it was hurting the Bucks in the sense of something was happening in their promotion that they are executive vice presidents of that they disagree with. So they could have been putting pressure on Tony to take that booking responsibility away from Cody and not allow him to kind of book stuff. I mean, there's probably things in other matches that Cody has booked that they've not liked. There's been rumors of big falling outs backstage. So his booking hasn't hurt their booking. That's not what we're talking about. His booking has hurt the relationship of them all. You know, there's big rumors that Cody, Bucks, Kenny have had big falling out backstage because of how things have been booked. So it's the relationship that has suffered. Sammy in the corner with Nakamura. We've got 33 minutes to go. The Jamaican bobsleigh team did their first run. They're currently 26th, which is amazing because there's only 5 teams. That is amazing. Well done, Jamaica. I think I read somewhere that one of their key guys was pushing a car around the streets of Peterborough or something in preparation. Like, I don't think they've had like much in the way of support. I mean, they've got support from the people, but they haven't been like training at like world-class facilities or anything. When I read what might have gone down, I side with Tony. I'm a Cody fan, but he sounds like a huge ego right now. Shoulder up. The Go-Go feud was what totally killed Cody's popularity. It was a terrible feud. I nominated that pay-per-view match for the worst match of the year. I think they're, without a doubt, going to do Cody versus Orton feud for SummerSlam. That would be good. Zoom Station says AEW treated Cody horribly. I say someone takes out Riddle and Orton takes his place. Jamaican me crazy. They'll do better. Very nice. Sammy kicking away at Shinsuke. Sammy, come on! Oh, Shinsuke didn't like that. He didn't like that at all. Grabs the leg of Sammy. Strikes coming in by Shinsuke. Big knee strikes. Sammy goes down. Such a shame. The crowd are a little flat for this. And it is like, you know, 2 great performers. Sammy charging over. High kick. Against the ropes goes Sammy. Kicks to the side of the head by Shinsuke. Sammy is down. Shinsuke goes over to the other side of the ring. He's trying to get the crowd. Looking for the Kinshasa. Sammy rolls out the ring. Sammy rolls out of harm's way. They need Sanka and his lucky egg. They do. They do. AJ went to NXT. Dolph has gone to NXT. If WWE keeps doing this, I'd love to see Randy go to NXT and start a feud with Joe Gacy and Haaland. Wow. Sammy smashing Shinsuke's leg into that turnbuckle. Absolutely smashing it. A couple of times where that made quite a thud. The crowd is flat because WWE have failed Shinsuke's run. No one cares about the IC title right now. Yeah, it's true. And also, I think that, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Shinsuke was a little bit off his game. I mean, he just hasn't wrestled all that much. I don't know if he's been competing a lot on house shows. But Sammy gets it done. Sammy wins with a roll-up. Tell you what, that's a little treat, isn't it, for anyone that did stick around. I'm even seeing empty seats now where the hard cam looks at. Thumbs down. Sami Zayn has got the IC title. Clean. Clean win as well for Sami. Nakamura with a knee strike into the ring steps. Yes. Well, didn't see that coming. Shinsuke needs an attire change. Sami wins. We got a new Intercontinental Champion. Sami Zayn. Look at that. New Intercontinental Champion. Sami Zayn. Clean. Sami Zayn holding up that IC belt. Look at that kid. There's a kid in the crowd. Loser! You're a loser! Sami, you're a loser! Good work. Good work, kid. Good work. You tell him. That was cool. Booker T came and spoke to some kids in Dallas. Put the IC title on Ricochet. A lot of empty seats, says Tony. Who's the better wrestler, Eva Marie or Brandy? I have no idea. I mean, like, Brandy did do some matches on the indie scene, which Eva Marie didn't. I think all the Eva Marie matches we saw. So, I have no idea. I'd love to give an answer to that, but I genuinely don't know. I never saw too many Brandy matches. I might have to go Eva Marie. Because I think she wrestled more, but then I don't know how many matches Brandy had on the indie scene. And I know that Eva Marie did train with the Brian Kendrick, but Brandy probably trained with Cody and, Dustin and all of them, but might have to go Eva. And I don't feel brilliant about it. Angry kids are always great to watch. Vin said Sami will be a boring champion who barely wrestles, just like Nakamura. I knew Sami was going to win. A channel said it a week ago. It was pre-recorded. First time Sami defends it in 6 months and he loses. Vin said, oh my God, not another face-off. Give Tommaso or Volta the IC title. Days, Sami winning is blasphemy. How did the storm treat you? We lost a door to the cabin and it somehow shifted a little bit on one side. Wow. Our fence is down. So our fence around the back blew down. Thankfully, there's no sheep or anything in there. Otherwise, they'd all be in our garden now. So it blew down a fence. The garden furniture went sliding down the garden. Apparently, I was asleep when this was happening. I actually slept through it. I kept waking up because the storm was that loud. But apparently my mum put some bricks on top of the garden furniture to kind of weight it down. It blew the bricks off. That's how strong the wind was. There was bricks being blown around. So, yeah, it was not good, but nothing too serious. Certainly no doors blown off. So, crazy, Alex. I hope you're well. Do you prefer the old white belt over this? Because I do. I prefer the old white belt over this, yes. Defo. Reminds me of Hogan losing his first title against Yokozuna. Move AJ to SmackDown and give him the IC title. Moving AJ to SmackDown would be great. AJ Nakamura, which we've seen before, but I have no problem seeing again. And, AJ Sammy, that would be good as well. I didn't know you had sheep. Yeah, well, I don't have them, but we live in the countryside. So to the one side, there's a road. Not a major road, but it's just like the road that connects to. There is a major road just down the end. So this is kind of like the road that takes you up to that. So there's a road there. Right opposite us, there's a massive field, but they just grow crops. Down there's a little brook thing, little lake thing, little more fields. Right next to us is a field, and in that field next to us over that side, that's where there's cows and sheep and all kinds of things they put in there. Chickens, there's been everything in that field. But there's no animals in it right now, which, as I said, is good. We have had cows in our back garden. Cows have jumped over the fence and got into our garden. And there was a video on the Wrestling Escape Pod channel, which has been set to private now, but I could bring it back, that shows sheep in our garden. Here's Ricochet and Aaliyah. I mean, that dress is only just covering up what God gave her. Is there a bit of flirt in there? Here's Sammy. I just want it. We'll talk later. Pictures, autographs. God, it is true. If you think that we've just seen the IC title change hands, like it's big deal, big things happen, but it doesn't feel like monumental because of how it's been booked. And it's just, you just think back to 92, don't you? Or I do. When it changed hands in the main event in front of 80-odd thousand at Wembley. Even so, we've got a brand new IC champ. Romantic couple. Aaliyah 317. The cows wanted to watch some WWE with you. Can't say I blame him. He was asking for $3 million plus, which is far too much. He can make that in WWE and then go back to AEW. We missed the halftime scores. Missed them. Gone. That title did used to be so important. It is a shame. Liv and Zelina Stan said, there was a storm here once that was so strong it blew a trampoline and wedged into my grandma's back porch. Oh! Oh, matron! Did she have to go to the hospital? Harley said, I like that Sami Nakamura finish. Every match always ends with a finisher, so I like it when a match doesn't. But it's still a finish that would actually end a match. The IC match has been demoted. Legend Killer says, I'm watching Friday Night Smackdown. Shout out to you. Days runs all pets in. Justin said, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. Oh, Justin. That's better than being a diver in space. Think about it that way. Think about it that way. I just watched a video of a cow jumping a fence. Why? Would be my question. Why? Why did you just watch a cow jumping? At what point did you see that and go, I can't carry on with my day without clicking on that? Farmer Days working Farmer Brock. Just showing him a few things. If he wants to pop over and just learn a few things. Days, your SmackDown thumbnail needs updating. Yeah, the problem is I could have updated it, and then there was more releases. So once it actually gets to a point where it's kind of settled, and maybe we're at that point, then maybe I'll have a look at it then. But I wasn't, I think there was like a few people that got released, and then people were then like, you need to update it, and then like the next week more got released, and it's like, I ain't gonna keep updating it every week. I might as well just have a blue background with the word SmackDown. But only then they'd change the logo or the colour or something, so I can't win. I feel like having a chocolate ice cream. Do it. If you ever see a ginger cow, it means peace in the Middle East. Okay. What colour cow do we need peace between Ukraine and Russia? Because we could really do with one of them. I don't know where that is at the moment. All the news here is about the storm. So I don't know quite where we are with the Ukraine-Russia situation. Biden says that he is convinced Putin has decided to invade Ukraine. That's the big story. Biden is convinced that Putin... The way that kind of reads is it reads like Biden convinced Putin to invade Ukraine. You should do it. Do it. I don't want to do it. No, do it. Go on. Invade. No, I don't want to. We're just doing, what you say, exercises. No, do it. Invade. Go on. Biden convinced Putin decided to invade Ukraine. Well, that's something to look forward to, isn't it? The end of the world. Right. Here is the tribal chief. Roman and Oldberg. I'm not going to put Oldberg because it's too predictable. So I've put Goldberg, which is maybe even more predictable because that's his name. Title versus title. Title versus title, I'ma call it, says Cosmo. Where are you from? I'm from the UK. 546 days as European champion. I don't want that belt. I don't want that belt back. Not unless you're going to bring it back as something in NXT UK. But imagine if he was European champion. Alex said, I find that's the issue when you live in the countryside. Not many other buildings to block the wind. Just wind and rain and it's full force. What you call a dog with no legs? Doesn't matter. It's not going to come anyway. 35 years. The belt is only 5 years old. This takes us to the break. It does. We've got 16 minutes to go. Brock said in a recent interview that Roman is wearing his t-shirt and that Brock is the real needle mover. Right, we are at commercial break. 16 minutes. I need to go to WWE Networks. We will have a look at NXT Level Up. In fairness, if it's only on for 35 minutes, we always tend to spend a few minutes just chatting about the show and whatnot, so. WWE Network. Undertaker is hot. Yeah. Fit. Undertaker's fit. Sad but true. Mania Gamer, shout out to you. He was going to lose it to Brock at day one. Best quote of the week. Liverpool game the other day. I like to best myself. Did I say that? I like to best myself. That might be... Was that something to do with the fantasy game? I'm trying to think as to why I would say something like that. Maybe in the fantasy game? I like to try and beat myself. That one. I like to try and beat myself in the fantasy game. Dirty Mind. That's what you've got. WWE Network. Rampage was pretty good. Adam Cole wrestled. Jay White wrestled. Adrian said, my brother subscribed to you. Thank you to your brother. Appreciate it. We're obviously got a big weekend ahead. So I'm just signing into the network now. What with Elimination Chamber and potentially a Cody Rhodes appearance. Ooh, Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons on the Broken Skull sessions. That'll be good. Is that's available now, is it? Haven't seen that. That's good. I'd like to watch that. I ain't gonna be able to watch that until next week. Where is the schedule? In ring, watch now. NXT Level Up hasn't got a graphic. It's starting in 13 minutes, and the thumbnail is Gacy and Haaland. I wasn't expecting that. But Gacy and Haaland are on NXT Level Up. So we'll be watching that to see... what it's about. I'm just a bit distracted because later tonight is Ride Along Season 4, and it's got Andrade on it. I wouldn't have thought they would have shown something that had an AEW superstar in it now, but... Ronda must compete with one arm tied behind her back. I feel like she had to do that before. I swear they did that on her last run. Ron Simmons confirmed for WWE 2K22. If I was a woman, Undertaker would be my crush. What have I missed? New Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn. Can a kangaroo jump higher than the Empire State Building? Of course, the Empire State Building can't jump. Right, Roman in the ring. We're all just getting a little bit older. Oh, he's gonna say something. I thought Goldberg was going to come straight down, to be honest, but Roman's going to say something first. New Orleans, acknowledge me. And they do. Good reaction for Roman. A genuine look at that. People are acknowledging. Needle mover. Jobber, mid-carder, main eventer, tribal chief. Roman chants. Undertaker clearly doesn't have the titles, but how does he stack his career to Flair, Hogan when they had titles and reigns? Didn't need them, did he? He's right in there, right in the conversation. This is the best part of my day. I find it. He finds it spiritually orgasmic standing next to Roman. If you never got a chance to see in his prime Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky. Who the hell is Drew Brees? Who the hell is Drew Brees? You didn't miss a damn thing. He played for the Saints. A few boos for Tom Brady. Roman's like... What are they chanting? This is what happens when you go down the local sports team road. I ain't got a clue what's going on. I love Sasha Banks. Tom Breeze was the Saints quarterback. Icelanders, are you covering the Olympics? Tom Breeze, quarterback for the Saints. He won a title after Hurricane Katrina. Who dat Saints chant? The United States is responsible for 90% of the Ukraine's military aid. It's basically a civil war. Okay, so Heyman's got... This is just firing up the crowd. That's all we've done for 3 minutes here. Here's Goldberg. Who dat say they gonna beat them Saints? The New Orleans Saints fight chant. Well, I mean, this is the most engaged they've been all night. And they're chanting Goldberg, man. I tell you, people are chanting Goldberg's name and everything. You're basically telling Vince you want more of this guy. That's all you're doing. Comes the boomer, here comes the boomer, it's the boomer, boomer. Here he comes. Old man Goldberg. This is boring. Well, it was firing up the crowds. Goldberg making his way down as the cameras. Follow him. We've got 5 minutes to go. Goldberg. Smaller security than Booberg. Did you hear about the painter that was hospitalized? The doctor said it was due to too many strokes. Retireberg. I like Retireberg. Retireberg. Right. Goldberg throws the microphone down. I was going to give you one last chance to acknowledge me. Goldberg steps forwards. You're going to walk up on me. And again. They are chanting it, look. They are chanting it. This goddamn crowd's going to keep him around. I don't think you understand, Bill. I run things around here. Gives him the microphone. Are you here to fight or are you here to talk? Tomorrow, 12 o'clock. He was wrong. You're not next. Yeah. You're last. I'm next. Mitchell said, it might just be me, but does it seem like both AEW and WWE are having issues with new stars? AEW's got too many stars, so there's not enough spotlight to go around. WWE is only focusing on about 4 people. Yeah. That's it. That's SmackDown. Mitchell, really appreciates the support, but I agree. I think there's a reluctance to kind of build some big new stars. They've obviously done a lot of work with Riddle, so I think Riddle's probably the big new star that's kind of coming through. We have had Bianca. I mean, you can obviously look at depends how long. I mean, AEW's been around since 2019. They've managed to build a few names in those kind of years. They've managed to obviously get Sammy over and done some good work with Hangman, even though Hangman was around before. But Sammy, MJF, Jungle Boy, there's a few they've got over, but big stars, I think that's still just a work in progress. WWE have got Riddle. They have built Bianca. So there's a few, but I think big stars, the very, very top of the card, you're never going to have, loads. It's always going to be, a select group. So, right now they're potentially quite happy with what they've got. I don't know that they want to really build anyone to Roman's level. Roman is the best thing here, and then they give us that. Goldberg is ruining everything. Do you think that Goldberg is gonna? Oh, hang on, let me do a poll. Look, we're chatting away here, we're jibber jabbering. I do expect this to be a quieter show than usual. I'd be surprised if this gets 2.2 or whatever, just because the results were already out there. But saying that, there is tomorrow, isn't there? So people might want to tune in to see what the final twists and turns are before we go to Elimination Chamber. What did you score SmackDown? Let's have a look, see what you think. 8 to 10. 7 to 7-5. 62675 575 or below. We are just sticking around for the new NXT Level Up, which should be starting very soon. It says Harlan faces Javier Bernal, Fallon Henley and Kayla Inlay take on Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley. And Kushida battles Idris Enofe. So 3 matches. Apparently it goes for 31 minutes. This new show, 31 minutes. 3 matches, 31 minutes. NXT Level Up. I'm going to go and watch SmackDown. NXT Level Up is on Peacock. Someone tell me why NXT is on. It's called NXT Level Up. It's a new show. WWE together. Okay, just seeing the intro now. It's got the N, and it's got arrows going up, the X and the T. NXT Level Up. It's pretty basic. It's very basic. It's inside. It's inside the Performance Center, of course. Welcome to the very first NXT Level Up. Ah, Nigel McGuinness? Who the hell is Sudu Shah? I like that Nigel McGuinness is back. Nigel McGuinness is so good. Nigel McGuinness is so good. Here's Haaland. Haaland with Joe Gacy making his way down. Horrible music. It's Gacy's kind of music, isn't it? Haaland getting into the ring. Got a peace sign from Gacy. I told you all, I am an agent of change. So Gacy saying a few words. He's got Haaland next to him. Is this NXT's developmental? It's going to be that, yes. But I think they'll put a bit of talent on there. So like this week, Haaland's on here, Ivy Nile and Kushida. I mean, in all fairness, I can't see us picking this over AEW Rampage. But it was worth just seeing the first episode and see what it's about. It's only on for 30-odd minutes. When Haaland gets the main roster, they'll probably put him in a clown suit. Oh, I hope so. I'd love a new doink. And if he's going to look like that as well. Brilliant. Apart from WWE, England got smashed by Australia in the Ashes. How are them two connected? Has anyone else got no audio? Here's Javier making his way down. He's surely just about to get buried here. Haaland backing up into the corner. Imagine if they allowed Triple H to book NXT Level Up. This could be amazing. Hour-long network special NXT Level Up, and he can book it. Sadly not. Right, you've had 160 votes. What did you score Smackdown? So let's end the poll, shall we? I think we've had quite a few votes in. I thought this was about a, I don't know, 6.5. I thought it was pretty average. There was not really anything. Well, I suppose like the Sammy match was all right. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was all right. It was watchable. For a go-home, it was all right. A lot of video packages. Not loads of wrestling, but great Undertaker Hall of Fame package. That was great. So, about a 6.5 something. I think I'm where you lot were. Look, 6 to... Very unusual for the 8 to 10 to not win, actually. But kind of refreshing. So, 6 to 6.75, 30%. Which I think is really fair. 6 to 6.75, 8 to 10, 7 to 7.75, 5.75 or below. Yeah, I'm probably right where you lot are. This could be trouble for Rampage. A lot of wrestling in one night. Well, for me, SmackDown 0.9. I get to watch Rampage. What is NXT Level Up? It's a new show. It's the replacement for 205 Live. So right now we're seeing this guy kicking the legs of Haaland, thrown against the ropes, clothesline, uppercut coming in. Lots of empty seats again, you know, here. Drop kick. Going back against the ropes. Straight to the midsection. Javier Bernal going down, gets picked up by Haaland. Whoa, planted down. One. Okay, couple of things there. First of all, he has him up. It looks like he's about to do an atomic drop, right? And he's got him up in the air, and he just, like, drops him down rather than, like, atomic drop. And when he just pinned him, he went on top and covered his neck with an X. So he kind of pinned him like that and had his head in between, which I can't recall seeing before. Like, pinning someone like this. Don't mind that. I like that. I like it where he's got him up there and then he drops him down that way. And then the pin with that. It's kind of interesting. I thought Quinn McKay was going to host this. Yeah, I mean, she is. Just haven't seen her yet. In fairness, I can't say I noticed when the intros were done. She's not the host, she's the announcer. Fallon Henley and Kayla Inlay. Okay, first advert. I say Drew should get the Mania heel turn. I'm watching NXT Level Up, says Hayden. CM316 said this is the replacement for 205 Live. Hammer Studio said, I voted 6 because I thought it would be that, but I didn't watch the show. I watched Olympics instead. I'm going to watch it some other time. I've got Rampage starts tomorrow. Rampage was earlier today. Master Chief said, I can't take any more wrestling. Time for some GTA. Master Chief, see you around, buds. Alex said, did you know the longest poop was 26 foot long? Wow. And was done in 95 by a female poop machine person. Wow. 4.18. Drew was briefly entertaining out of 10, says John. We do have an advert for WWE 2K22. Just taken them 2 years to build from the ground up. It hits differently. It hits different. So, Rey Mysterio, NWO for Life content, Undertaker content. Here is Fallon and Henley making their way out now. Never seen these. I do kind of like seeing wrestlers for the first time, though, I must admit, because you know they're not going to stay like this. They're probably going to go through at least 5 gimmick changes if they ever make it to the main roster. They've both got different entrance music, so that suggests that these two are separate. Like, they're not a tag team. Okay. These two making their way. The crowd are clapping along with the theme music. They're just kind of leaning on the rope going. Right, here comes Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley. Ah. Ivy Nile. How did she get roped into this? Those three all look the same. Those three women just look the same to me. Ivy Nile does not. Ivy Nile with chains around her neck, the side of her head shaved. Little bit smaller, but jacked, like she stands out. I don't know what her little entrance routine is. Oh, she goes to the side. Powers up. I like Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile's a problem. Ivy Nile is a problem. Ivy's a star. I don't know what channel, Rampage. I put TNT, but it's NBA. Yeah, it's already happened. It was the hour before. It's been and gone. Right, we're starting off with Ivy. If you don't play his Rest in Peace theme at my funeral, I'm not going, says Shadam. Ivy is a star. I want to see Kayla wrestle, says channel name. Who is the man to pin Roman? Is it Goldberg? Hope not. Hope not. Ivy Nile getting backed into the corner. Drop kick. Down goes Ivy Nile. Strike to the midsection by Ivy Nile. I can't remember the names of these two women. Well, I know it's Fallon Henley and Kayla Inlay, but I don't know which one's which. Let's go, Ivy. She's over, man. Ivy's over. Well, I mean, in all fairness, she's the only one that people know in this match, so can't be too surprising. Ivy tagging out. Tatum Paxley. Where are they? Honestly, they've just got a random word generator, haven't they? Your name is Tatum Paxley, apparently. Tatum. That might turn out to be a real name. I don't know. Sounds random. Fallon Henley. Tatum Paxley. I mean, it's just... What happened to Barbara? Where's Barbara? Where's Ethel? Why is there no more Ethels in the world? Do you know, I miss wrestling names that have, like, you know, like Fabulous Moolah, Amazing Red. Why is no one called, like, Awesome Kong? You know, where are those names gone? Incredible Hulk. Why have we not got a sensational... Well, we had sensational Sherry, I suppose. Is there any words that haven't been used? Phenomenal Phyllis. That's what we need. Oh my God! It's Phenomenal Phyllis! Ah! You can't tell me that's any worse than Tatum Paxley. Don't you dare. Outstanding. Olivia. Her real name is Natalie Holland. I did my research. This is taped after NXT. Kane says, I think either Braun or Haaland or Gunther will pin Roman. But Brock wins at 38. Barbara and Ethel are coming with Veer. Oh, man, if there was a tag team with two people that were called Barbara and Ethel, I'd love that. I'd love that. Instantly, they would get over. Barbara and Ethel. Instead of Tatum Paxley and all these Kayla Inlay, Fallon Henley, just give me Barbara and Ethel. Keep it simple. Sensational Cherry. Sensational Cherry. The ultimate James Ellsworth. Yes. Marvelous Marvin. Phenomenal Paxley doesn't work, even if Steve Barrett said it out loud. Great work there by Ivy Nile. Did she have a dragon sleeper? Bivens is him. Bivens impressed with what he sees there from Tatum, Paxley. Ivy wasn't interested in celebrating with Tatum. I think Ivy just said to Malcolm Bivens, she was like, I won that. And he's like, yeah. I won that. Kushida against Idris Inoue coming up next. NXT Level Up. I don't mind this show. Just is what it is, isn't it? What are the chances Austin Theory becomes the youngest WWE champion? Right now, Brock still holds the record, but Austin is 24. Will be 25 in August. I wouldn't hate it. They haven't really built him where I'm expecting it. But we know that he is Vince's pet project. So, yeah, I wouldn't hate it. Oh, man, look at that. They're just showing the crowd when Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson win the tag belts. It's like a granddad in his cardigan and all this. Like, the crowd is so different to what you would expect to see now. It's good. I like this video package with Black History Month. It's good. Bad Barbara and the inevitable Ethel. John said Undertaker should come out of retirement for a 4-way at Mania versus Goldberg, Cena, and The Rock. Channel Name said Hogan was supposed to go back to his incredible heel gimmick and be managed by Bobby Heenan if Vince let him turn in 1990. Is that true? I never heard that. He was going to be a heel in 1990. Well, after the Warrior thing. And get managed by Bobby. Oh, my God. Just imagine. Who would have been the faces, though? I mean, like, who could have stood up to Hogan in 1990? I mean, you had Warrior. Warrior was around. Perfect. Jake. That might have been part of the problem. There was no one that was on Hogan's level physique-wise that was able to do promos. I mean, if Bulldog didn't have his demons and was able to cut promos a bit better, like maybe if his accent wasn't quite as thick, maybe, then that could have been, he could have been someone. Definitely, because he had the look. And in 90, it wasn't, the steroids wasn't a concern. It was 92. That's when that hit. That's interesting, though. Dream matches: Brock versus Gunther, Cena versus Theory, Tommaso versus Roman, Seth versus Cody. Thoughts? Brock versus Gunther. My concern with that is Gunther's slimmed down a little bit, so Brock would look bigger compared to Gunther. I mean, I really like Gunther. I'd want Gunther to win. If Brock's going to win that, it would hurt. So Brock Gunther, it doesn't grab me because I'm just a bit worried that Gunther will look small compared to Brock. And it's going to be hard to put Gunther over Brock. So I'd just be... And if Brock wins, I'd feel like we were burying a really great talent. So I would just be worried about that. Cena versus Theory. Yep, I'm down for that. Tommaso versus Roman. It's not a dream match of mine. Tommaso has got great intensity, but he is a little bit on the smaller side. It's going to be hard for him to beat Roman. If you can bring the anger, bring the intensity, work a fast pace, could be interesting. I wouldn't hate seeing it. Seth versus Cody. Yep. Down for that. I'd love to know what the story would be for that. I'd love to know the story for Seth Cody, how would you book it? WWE versus AEW, or what? Just who's the best wrestler, or yeah, I'm down for some of those. Austin said I could see Cena Theory next year. The chat is chaotic on the pay-per-view streams. Might be a bit quiet. I don't know. It's a weird time, innit? It's Saturday. I mean, it's great for the UK. I mean, you got to remember, there's a lot of people that don't join us normally because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. But, I mean, this is, 5 o'clock it starts, 5 p.m. in the UK. So it's very exciting. So, big stream. Yeah, maybe it will be hopefully it can hit the UK market and the American market. Normally, it's just really America and Canada, I think. But UK doesn't tend to watch along live unless they're absolute maniacs that stay up. I mean, right now it's 23 minutes past 3. That's where we are. And we are at our main event. We've got Kushida taking on Inoue. And I must admit, there's been no spotlight put on Quinn McKay. I don't even think I've seen her name mentioned. I don't even know if I've seen... I haven't seen her, but I was chatting with you guys. But, yeah, Quinn McKay has not been brought in as a major deal here. So, Kushida versus Idris Inoue, getting an opportunity to show what they can do. Gargano versus AJ is a match we won't get, but I wish we did, says James. Randy Orton versus Theory at SummerSlam. Cena versus Riddle on the same night. Moldy said, shout out to my fellow UK maniacs. Absolutely. 3:24 in the morning. Crowds showing their support here. This show is on for another 7 minutes. J-Herb said, no Rampage. It was on before SmackDown this week as a one-off. Cody Roman would be interesting. They both have something in common with the fans, booing them all the time. They could probably use that in the feud. Plus, Cody Roman fought back in 2013, says Austin. Hammer Studio said, for me, Elimination Chamber is going to be at 11 a.m. That's early, but not a problem, is it? Like, you would hope to be up by 11. Nice head scissor takedown there by Kushida. The Rhodes brothers won the tag belts from the Shield at the same time, so there is a feud to go from there. Plus Seth. I feel like the story to be told right now is going to be AEW being started, if I'm being honest. I understand they're not going to want to give AEW mentions and airtime, but there's ways, as we said before, of wording it. Understudy UK in the house, says Shaquem. Okay, so headlock here by Inoue, stretching out Kushida. We're down to the final 5 minutes. I like this being half an hour. I think if this was going to be an hour, it would be a bit long because there's a lot of people we just don't know. And in all fairness, it doesn't need to be that long because NXT is already 2 hours. But half an hour, you can invest half an hour into a show. Kushida's got spittle just going down his chin as he's in a single leg Boston Crab. He's trying to get over to the ropes, and he does. And Enofe has got to break that hold. Is this the first episode of NXT Level Up? It is, yeah. First ever episode. We will look back in 100 years' time, and we will say, where was you for episode 1 of NXT Level Up? And I reckon there's a good chance all of us will be dead. But someone will say it, and we were here. Someone in the future might even be watching this. Hello. Hello, future. We are watching and enjoying the first NXT Level Up. Enofe climbing up. Kushida rolling out. It's a shame there's some empty seats, isn't there? Strikes coming in by Kushida. I usually wake up at 9, so 11 isn't a problem. Very good. Are you starting the stream at 2:30 tomorrow? That's the plan. The only thing I've got happening before, I would have started earlier, but I've got a football game. I'm actually streaming on a different channel. I'll be doing West Ham Newcastle on football days. And then as soon as that finishes, going straight over to this channel. Karen, hello. Hello, future Karen. Against the ropes goes Enofe. Nice hip toss. Kushida, drop kick. Applause from the crowd. Kushida. Up top into a DDT. Oh, nice. Looking for an armbar here by Kushida. Tap, 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 tap. He's got the armbar on, and Enofe is struggling to get out of this. Enofe to kick out. Your EC stream starts at 6:30 a.m. for me. See you there. Strikes coming in. Randy versus Riddle. Batista versus Brock. Gunter versus Haaland. Hey, future, has Via come to Raw yet? It's still coming. Still coming. Aegis Enofe climbing up. The whole Ukraine thing's going to destroy the world anyway, so we don't need to worry about it. Oh, this might be the first and only NXT Level Up. Wow! Enofe wins? Enofe wins? I didn't see that happening. If someone said a few years ago you would pretty much stream every day for wrestling and for sports, would you have believed them? No. No. Well, a few years ago, yes, because we were doing it. But 5 years ago, no. The channel was around 5 years ago, but there was no streams. That's all we do now. So, yeah, pretty crazy. I mean, it's great. It's great that we were able to do that, and there's people that want to share their thoughts and predictions and join us. So, yeah, very, very, very fortunate. But honestly, I mean, 5 years ago, probably wouldn't even thought there was this much wrestling to actually stream unless you went down to, like, the indies. Because, you know, there was no AEW. NXT was just an hour on the network. Right, lots of... There we go. Kushida gets out the ring with Ikemen Jiro, and Aegis Enofe has his hands raised at the end of the first ever NXT Level Up. There we go. It's all right, wasn't it? It's all right. I didn't hate that. Days I've never seen so much rain where I lived yesterday. It was pouring. I would call that an upset, says Jim. What would your reaction to Bearcat Lee showing up in AEW? What was your reaction? Not that crazy, to be honest, because it had basically been ruined. Do you want snow? No. I don't want snow because that might mess up with streams and whatnot. I would just like it to be nice and calm. 5 years ago, there was only WWE, Impact, and Ring of Honor. Isn't it crazy how things change, eh? Isn't it crazy? Hayden said, I won't be in the chat for the beginning of Elimination Chamber. It starts at 3:30 on a Sunday morning. And... I'm sorry, have you got something else you have to be doing at that time, Hayden? No, I understand, bud. Need your beauty sleep, don't you, mate? You need your beauty sleep. That was a pretty good show, says Austin. Yep. Right, we're done. It was a pretty good show, but I don't know if it's a show we're going to be watching. I should imagine Rampage will probably still take priority. Well, Smackdown takes priority, but straight after, then we'll probably be sticking with Rampage. But I didn't mind NXT Level Up. I didn't mind it. Days, I'm just starting to watch the stream. What are we talking about? Well, Michael, it's a brilliant time to join. Brilliant time to join. We are just talking about how we're ending the stream, and we are now just about to go. So a big shout out to Michael. Big shout out to everyone that joined us. Massive weekend ahead. Tomorrow, we've got Elimination Chamber and UFC. And we've got Premier League football on football days. On Sunday, we've got Winter Olympics, closing ceremony, football games, loads of stuff happening. So loads going on over these next couple of days. So we should be fine, whatever happens. I've dropped the quality of the stream. Hopefully it's not too bad, but chances are we'll just stream using this because it's a much more reliable internet source rather than relying on 4G and everything, because that's where we can get lag. So I'll probably just run with this. Take no chances. It's a big weekend, so... awesome, guys. Appreciate the support. Have a good few hours or until I see you next. And hopefully I will see you at some point during this busy weekend. Awesome, guys. Bye for now.